Things are gonna get crazy!
To all who come to this happy place, welcome. Disneyland is your land. Here age relives fond memories of the past, and here youth may savor the challenge and promise of the future. Disneyland is dedicated to the ideals, the dreams, and the hard facts that have created America, with the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
Welcome, everyone, to a very special episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. And I really do mean it this time, because now we are about to enter a very special episode all dedicated to this year's D23, the big Disney event in which we have heard so many major announcements of what's going to be in store in the future of Disney, whether it be with their movies, shows, animation, theme parks, and many, many more. And of course, as we are doing a special D23 episode, I cannot do this without my longtime Disney partner. You know him as the animation extraordinaire that has brought you many of the My Little Pony Meets videos, and as well as the great animations for Animation Look Back Walt Disney Animation Studios Plus. So without further ado, let's go and welcome back to AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, Logan Miller, aka ToucanLDM. Logan, what's up, dude?
Hey, howdy, y'all. How you guys doing?
Hey, I've been doing great so far, and I mean, especially after this weekend, it's been extremely exciting. I'm sure you've been keeping up with all the big news that came out at D23.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I definitely kept it up. I mean, I didn't have much else to do this weekend, so I figured, I'll just watch the live stream, see what's going on, and all that stuff. No, I didn't watch it through Fortnite, so I have my other ways of watching the live streams.
Yeah, that's good. At least you got a plan. You got a backup. I didn't actually watch the streams. I just saw like the announcements as they keep popping out on social media, like on Disney's official Facebook page, or on some of the other websites like the Disney Parks blog, as we are going to get into. And by the way, before we do get into this, I just want to have like a quick mention. This is a bit of sad news, unfortunately. It was today that, unfortunately, it was reported that Rachel Lillis, the original English dub voice of Misty and Jessie from Pokemon, has sadly passed away, and passed away quite young, unfortunately. And I will say it is a bit of a heartache, especially on my part, as someone who actually grew up with Pokemon, like right from the very beginnings, and especially with the first episode. Here, you know, I remember very well like moments with both Misty and Jessie, and hearing the original voice actor no longer being with us. It's pretty sad. So just want to give Rachel Lillis a special shout out, and may she rest in peace.
Exactly. That took me by surprise too when I first heard the news. I mean, I definitely did grow up with the original Pokemon, and yeah, she will definitely be missed. And I still main as Jigglypuff to this day on Smash Brothers, so rest in peace.
I'm not that far off, honestly. I'm not a Pokemon, but I main Kirby. Like, I'm one of those. Yeah, and don't worry. When I main Kirby, I don't do the cheap thing of jumping off stage by sucking someone, you know? I don't do that kind of kamikaze action. I'm actually a good Kirby main. But anyways, back to what we are talking about. This ain't about Nintendo. This is actually about Disney. And my God, we got a major episode coming your way. In fact, for the Twitch stream, I started an hour earlier so that we could really get into all the news. So without further ado, Logan, I'd like to ask you, are you ready for today's special D23 episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast?
Let me just grab my energy drink here. Let's do this.
Awesome. And now, chat wall, I'd like to ask you, are you ready for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast? Are you ready for some Disney magic? Let's see now. Yes, yes. Oh, that's great to see people are prepared. That's wonderful. And without further ado, let's go and get things started. And so with our first story that we have, or our first list of announcements, I might as well go and start off with a major one, something that me and Logan are major fans of, and that is the Disney parks. Yes, instead of starting off with the movies or anything like that, we might as well go and begin with the big announcements that's going to be in the future of Disney's theme parks. And first,
when he says big, oh, they're big, all right.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, I'm going to be using my source on the official Disney Parks blog, and I'm going to go in the order of what they have listed over here. So first and foremost, let's go and talk about a brand new big thing, and that is a new Pandora area for Disney California Adventure. However, they have stated that this is not going to be like a clone that we've already gotten in Animal Kingdom. No, this is actually going to be a brand new Avatar land for Disney California Adventure that's actually going to be based more on the sequels, such as Avatar: The Way of Water. So, Logan, what do you think about these announcements that we got, like, for Avatar here?
Honestly, I'm not too surprised. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, when I visit Animal Kingdom and check out the Avatar land there, the world of Pandora, it's amazing. Like, I definitely got to give Disney, like, lots of credits for how they execute that land in general, because this is coming from somebody that doesn't really care much about the Avatar movies in general. Like, I like the first one just fine. It's been, like, a good while since I've seen it. I have yet to see the second one. Not sure if I really want to plan on seeing it or not. I'm like kind of on the fence on that, but it's one of those cases where like I'm more impressed with the land more than the IP is based on itself. So seeing it come to Disneyland itself, like just seeing the concept art alone, like it looks like it's going to be like massive. Like just like that rock work and that background, like I'm just curious to see like how that's all going to be like played out. But my only question and I'm sure we might get to this down the road a little bit, is like, where are they going to put this in DCA? Like, my headcanon is like, this is probably going to be potential for Disneyland Forward, if you know what that, if you know what that is.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah, because the scale of that, there's no way that's going to be placed somewhere within DCA itself. Like, what is that going to replace? Like Hollywood Land? Yeah, no, that's too small for that. So my guess is probably going to be like Disneyland Forward, and judging from like the ride they have to offer, like it's definitely going to be using like the same like techniques they used for that one Pirates of the Caribbean ride in Shanghai Disneyland. Which, have you seen ride footage of that, Matt?
Yes. Oh my god! Like
that
thing
looks
is incredible.
awesome. Like as soon as I saw it, it's like the international parks get like all the really cool stuff, you know. I mean, hey, that's how they get you to buy plane tickets to travel. So yeah, I mean that gets me there. But no, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see how they're going to like execute this like rad technology in the U.S. parks, and seeing how it's going to use it for Avatar. I'm not surprised by that.
Oh
but, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, I mean, like, if it really worked in China, you might as well bring it into the US, you know, do a little bit like with Tron Light Cycle Run. I mean, it worked so great in Shanghai, and then they brought it onto the Magic Kingdom, and when I was there last year, oh my god, me and my family agreed it was one of our favorite things. And I'll leave it at, someone did confirm that yes, it is going to be part of the Disneyland Forward project, so it definitely makes a lot of sense there.
That's what I figured.
Yeah, and moving forward, by the way, speaking of Disney California Adventure, there's also going to be another new ride that's going to be there. Not a land, but we now have a confirmation of a Coco-themed ride, one in which they stated that it's going to be more in the spirit of some of the classic attractions like Pirates of the Caribbean or the Haunted Mansion, and they even promised to do some very revolutionary things with bringing the skeletons to life. So I'm sure that's going to be, that's going to be one to look forward to.
Oh yeah, Coco is like, it's definitely a movie that definitely deserves a ride. A brand new ride type, to be exact.
Oh yeah.
Granted, it's going to be a boat ride, but when I first heard about that, I was like, oh yeah, let's go. Now, my only concern about this is like, if it's going to be really well received in Disneyland, do you think they might take this over to Epcot's per se?
I mean, I heard like there's been a lot of rumors that Grand Fiesta Tour would be replaced with a Coco themed ride, but I guess it really depends on how the layout is going to be. If it looks similar to Grand Fiesta Tour, then I think that answer would be yes, that they would try to go and experiment if they would want to go and like change that. But hey, like honestly, I definitely take it. Like I'm definitely happy with the idea that they're going to do something fully original. Like instead of doing the usual thing like what they've recently done with like Frozen Ever After or Tiana's Bayou Adventure of just reskinning an old ride, like now they're just going to do something fresh and new. And that I'm honestly pretty down. And it's worth noting, by the way, that we are going to be getting that soon since they are going to be planning the Coco attraction for 2026. Now,
oh, yes.
Oh, go on.
Oh, no, so I was going to say, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too as well. Now, they've also announced a whole bunch of nighttime spectaculars during the presentation. One in which they have confirmed is a brand new nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom that's going to be called Disney Starlight, in which they promise to have it be based on many beloved Disney properties with, putting up lights all around and like have it be light themed and, using light as a way to bring out the magic, which they'll have like floats based on Encanto, on Frozen, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, and many, many more. They've also confirmed that there's also going to be a new nighttime show in Tokyo Disneyland called Reach for the Stars. That's coming out on September 20th. Then right at the start of next year, Disneyland Paris is going to be getting a brand new nighttime show, as well as much later on, the second Disneyland Paris park, Disney Adventure World, is also going to be getting a nighttime show.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with the nighttime shows.
Oh yeah.
Someone out there is like clamming for Paint the Night to return, but I honestly much prefer like a new parade at this point. I'm nothing against Paint the Night, that's an awesome parade, but let new parades shine every now and then. And I'm definitely liking what they got so far with the new one featuring like the Blue Fairy, Peter Pan, Encanto, all that stuff. Yeah, because that's something I definitely miss. Because when I used to go to Disneyland as a kid, like I remember like wherever I go there, I always end the days by seeing Spectromatric.
Oh, yes.
And you know what I'm talking about?
Oh my, I was about to say, like, it would be awesome to have, like, some kind of updated Spectromagic, because I love the music of that parade.
Oh, yeah. Like, if you want to talk about, like, Disney magic that gives you, like, the feels, that parade's there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
every time I, like, go back and, like, listen to it, it just hits the nostalgia feel so bad. And it's like, oh, man, this brings me back to seeing that show right after I went on, Extraterrestrial. Yes, I actually did remember going on Extraterrestrial, and I was like, wow, that definitely scarred me a little bit. But then Spectromatic was there to cheer me up. I was like, oh, all is forgiven, Disney.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's traumatizing. Yay, Disney magic.
I was 6 at the time, so it's like, granted, that's more on my parents for taking that ride back then, so that's part of the reason why it's closed, but hey, it's closed forever, so who cares at this point?
Yeah, but I do agree with what you say, though, that it is also good to bring back some, like, to have some new nighttime shows. And I'm sure, like, these ones are going to be worth checking out. But then, by the way, speaking of Disneyland Paris, there was also a major announcement in regards of a brand new ride that they're going to be bringing out, and that is a Lion King themed log flume ride, and that's actually going to be a part of the second Disneyland Paris Park Disney Adventure World, in which they have also confirmed that the World of Frozen section is going to be opening in 2026. And by the way, one thing that I want to mention, because a lot of people have brought up the fact that in the concept art, we do see that the characters are actually based on the 2019 remake. However, allegedly, apparently the Imagineers actually told guests that the concept art is just that, it's just the concept art. The actual ride itself apparently will be based on the original 1994 movie, so they'll definitely be a lot more animated than what we see here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was confused when I saw that. I was like, wait a second, they're not going that route, are they? But then, nope, based on the animated classic, and I was like, okay, because I hate to see like a human-sized real-life Timon walking around the parks greeting kids. It was like, I don't want that thing near me.
Oh god, or even worse, the Pumbaa, or or I would say the absolute worst thing to ever come out of that. It's not from the movies, it's the godforsaken Funko Pops. Have you ever seen the Funko Pops of the 2019 Lion King? Oh my god, they're some of the scariest things I've seen from Disney. And I do mean like, not just like from like Disney Funko Pops, I mean like Disney in general. Like if I would remake the top 10 scariest Disney moments, they would be there somewhere.
Oh, they're just so markable, guys. Come on, don't you just love that little face? I don't get it either.
No. I mean, I'll admit, I collect Funko Pops, but those ones, please keep those things away from me.
Oh yeah. I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed they're going with the log flume type ride for Paris, because Paris is known to be cold on certain like months. So I'm curious. Yeah, so I'm kind of curious to see like how that's going to be play out, because I know when it comes to like Tokyo Disneyland, because they have like snow every now and I mean they do get like the winter season and all that stuff. So whenever that happens, they have to close down their version of Splash Mountain. So we'll see. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out for Paris, but we still got like a long way ahead. And yeah, I'm definitely liking that a Lion King ride is coming, even though it's been like a good, what is it, 30 years now?
Yep, it's for the 30th anniversary. For the first time, we actually got a legitimate Lion King ride, not a puppet show, not like a stage show, like an actual ride.
Not taking over the Enchanted Tiki Room, just all that stuff.
Oh yeah, not even going under new management. All right, so moving forward, speaking of animatronics, by the way, you know who's going to be getting an audio animatronic? Walt Disney himself. Disney has officially announced that for the Main Street Opera House at Disneyland, there will be a brand new show called Walt Disney: A Magical Life. And don't worry though, Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is still gonna be at the park. It's just that now it will be on rotation. So when you go in the Opera House, sometimes you'll get Mr. Lincoln, or sometimes you'll get Walt Disney himself. But the big thing to go and highlight is that for the first time ever, they will be creating an audio animatronic of Walt Disney. So a bit of an unusual announcement, but I'm sure you would be interested in checking it out, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll definitely be intrigued by watching this whenever I go to Disney. I mean, granted, I'm going to Disneyland soon this year, but unfortunately, I won't be able to see this because this won't open till like next year during the 70th anniversary. So it's like, fortunately, I'm gonna miss out. But hey, that's what YouTube is for, right? It's kind of the same.
Oh, you know, Disney is gonna go heavy on the marketing to say look how advanced our audio animatronic is and how lifelike Walt Disney is. You know, like I'm sure they will do that.
No, I'm definitely excited for this, even though it might come across as a little creepy, seeing like resurrect Walt Disney in a way. But I'm definitely intrigued to see how this is gonna like play off.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely curious as well. I would love to know how they would go and do that. All right, so
my only hope is like they get. Oh, sorry.
No,
I was gonna say
on.
really quick. My only hope is like they either use like archival recordings of Walt Disney or have somebody like dub in his voice, like a voice impersonator. That's like my only hope when it comes to like how to present his voice for the attraction.
I'm sure they're gonna use archival footage. I'm sure they got some that has like clean audio. It's kind of like with what they did with Mr. Lincoln, where at one point they tried a new voice, but then they got a new audio from the original guy who voiced Lincoln that they would go and actually portray the voice. So they kind of reverted back. But anyways, back to what I was talking about here. Now here's another big one. It's actually going to be the new section at Disney Animal Kingdom that will be replacing Dinoland USA, which is going to be called Pueblo Esperanza. And in it, it's going to be a new area that will be inspired by the tropical islands. And also, within it, there will be 2 brand new attractions. One of which will be inspired by Indiana Jones. And they actually promise that this is not going to be a clone of any of the other Indiana Jones rides that we have gotten in the other parks, like at Disneyland or at Disneyland Paris or what have you. This is actually going to be a brand new Indiana Jones themed ride. And also, we are going to be getting an Encanto ride as well, in which you will be entering into the casita, and it will be set right at the moment when Antonio was about to get his gift, and he invites everybody into his room, in which it is all rainforest themed. So that's going to be something that will be coming out in 2027. And at the same time, they have announced for next year, It's Tough to Be a Bug is officially going to be replaced by a brand new 3D show called Zootopia Better Zoogether, which apparently they say it's going to be opening next winter. So, have any thoughts on this?
Oh man, I can't tell even with these news. No, I'm definitely looking forward to everything here they say, because I'm definitely not that person that's upset that they're going to demolish Dino Land. Like, yeah, it's fine. Like, I did like in Dinosaurs, the ride itself, don't make me wrong, but everything else around Dino Land just seems like, eh. Like, I could care less about the Chester Hester part side of things, and it just doesn't really seem like that intriguing. Like, honestly, that land's only worth it just for Dinosaur itself. But yeah, even though I'm sad that ride's going to be gone, I'm definitely looking forward to see what they have to offer with this like brand new land. And also, the one thing I really love about this isn't a land that's based on just one IP. This is like a variety of like just Indiana Jones and Kanto and all that stuff. Because the thing that I'm not really a big fan of when it comes to like the newer stuff is like, I'm not really a big fan of like having lands based on just like one IP. I think I might have mentioned that before, but I just don't like it because you're just basically stuck with that IP, and who knows how long that IP will be relevant. I mean, there's some exceptions. Like, I don't mind Toy Story Land that much or Star Wars, but when you do stuff like, let's say, I know I mentioned this before, I liking Avatar, but it just seems like you're just stuck with that IP for like a good while, and who knows how long it's gonna be there until you like decide like, okay, let's decide just like demolish like the whole land just so we can place it with like something else. So I'm glad they're just with this one, they're gonna like have like two IPs representing this land, and I think there's like a carousel ride that's going to be part of this that has like so many other IPs within that carousel. So no, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't have like that much to do with animals, but come on, the Encanto ride is going to have a toucan in it, so I'm definitely going to be appreciating that.
Well, I've heard a lot of discussions that like it seems weird to have Encanto in Animal Kingdom, but the explanation that it's going to be set in Antonio's room and it's going to be all the like the rainforest area, I think that alone like shows that there's going to be all those animals presented. So I think that right there would actually justify the reason. And yeah, you do bring up a very good point with with a land that's going to be more original or is going to be more broad that's not based on one IP. So I could see how this can actually really work out. Like, even if they want to go and make some updates in the future, like, I could see that they could go and change things up. And especially that this is just, like, it's an area that does fit within Animal Kingdom, because Animal Kingdom has lands that's inspired by regions of the world, where you would get, like, Africa, Asia, and stuff like that. So, at least we got, like, one that's based, like, it's more not necessarily just South America, just like in the in that area of the tropical islands.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that aspect too. It's like I'm definitely looking forward to see like just to feel like I'm within that area, just like the music, the atmosphere, the food, all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, granted, does it have to do much with animals? Not really, but in the same way, Expedition Everest doesn't have that much to do with animals. So it's like, what can you do at this point?
It has a Yeti.
A broken Yeti.
Yeah. Oh, we'll definitely chat about that a little later for one good reason. But let's go and move on to a couple of more things. They stated that now they have a new release date for Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Disneyland. Now, for a few months now, we've already gotten Tiana's Bayou Adventure at Walt Disney World. We got a clear idea of how that ride is right now. But the Disneyland version is set to open on November 15th of this year. So around the holiday season. And also to jump straight next to the other announcement, they've also revealed some new lounge spaces that's coming to Walt Disney World. One that will be in Epcot that will be completely themed to Spaceship Earth, and another one that will be based on Pirates of the Caribbean that's going to be coming out, both of which in 2025. And I mean, on that note...
Hardee's.
What?
Oh, I said drink up, me Hardee's.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, they even promised that in the Pirates Lounge, there will be drinking involved, so you could definitely do that.
Just play safe now.
Oh, yeah. Now, moving forward, we also got an announcement on the updated test track version, in which they have confirmed that's going to be coming out in 2025. But then there's another major announcement that they've made, and this is one that I feel like this is one of those announcements that Disney made a lot of people's dreams come true, and that is the new Monsters, Inc. land. Yes, there's going to be an entire... Well, ironically enough, since we have talked about, oh, maybe we shouldn't do lands based on one movie or one IP or something. Well, here's one that Disney did exactly that, in which at Disney Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World, there will be an area inspired by Monsters, Inc. And in it, there's actually going to be one major attraction that many people have been asking for so long, a Monsters, Inc. themed coaster in which it is set in the Doors scene. Like, you know the moment where Mike and Sully and Boo, like, they're traveling along the factory where you see, like, all the doors that kids have? Yep, there's now going to be a roller coaster based on that area. And by the way, it's also worth mentioning that there has been a rumor going around about where specifically this is going to be. Some people have speculated that maybe this could end up replacing Muppet Vision 3D and that little area. But others have refuted, and many have actually stated that it's most likely going to be at the opposite side of Muppet Vision 3D, in the park, by the way, in which they say that the most likely area this will be is actually going to be at where Star Wars Launch Bay is and Animation Courtyard. Most likely the area right there, which I'm going to say right now, I personally feel like that's the most likely option, especially if you're going to have a Pixar-themed area or an area based on a Pixar movie, then you might as well have it be right next to the other land that is based on a Pixar movie. What do you think, Logan?
Yeah, going back to what I said earlier about like having lands based on one IP. At first, when I first heard the news, I was kind of like rolling my eyes, like, okay, here we go again. But then they had me with the ride system, the roller coaster, and it's like, okay, you guys won me over to this one, so I'm gonna let this slide. So, and honestly, a land based on Monsters Inc. doesn't sound like a bad one. Like it has like a lot of potential to see how it's gonna be like executed with like the shops and areas. And by the looks of it, I think they're also including a what's that name of that restaurant?
Harryhausen's? Harryhausen's. It looks like they will have like based on the concept art. Like, it looks like they will have Harryhausen's as a restaurant. And by the way, Logan, sorry to interrupt, but we are going to go on a break right now because soon, like, we're going to be at the time where Twitch is going to immediately put in a break, so we'll go and activate that. And when we do return, we will continue our discussion about the new Monsters, Inc. themed area and with our continued discussion of the Disney park. So we'll be back for that. And we are back. Okay, so going back to our discussion to what we have talked about, We mentioned, yes, it looks like there might actually be a Harryhausen's restaurant at the Monsters Inc. area, or at least that's what the concept art has promised us. And any other thoughts you may have for the Monsters Inc. place?
Yeah, going back what you said earlier about like where it's going to be located, it is pretty concerning on like because they haven't mentioned where they're going to be putting it. But I'm with you. With my guess is they're going to put it where Star Wars Lunch Bay is at because really there's so many Star Wars stuff in that park as it is that we don't really need Launch Bay anymore. Just get rid of that. You already ruined it by getting rid of the animation building, so just demolish it, flatten it. But even then, that's kind of like I don't know because they're also working on the new Little Mermaid show that's also going to be in that area. So it's really unless they can like figure out a way to like push it way back, further back. I mean that could be a possibility, but in the end, we'll just have to wait and see what they have to say. But I mean, I don't want to sound like that person to say like, "Oh, get rid of Muppet Vision," because I love Muppet Vision. Don't get me wrong, I adore that attraction. I hate to see that go, but at the same time, or what they could do if they have to put it in that location, to quote Patrick, we should move Muppet Vision and push it somewhere else. So that way we can move Metropolis over to that location, get rid of Star Tours, and bada bing, bada boom. There, everybody wins.
That is true. I mean, if they can do that with Festival of the Lion King, they could do that with Muppet Vision 3D.
True point. Yeah, true that. So, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. So,
Well,
I mean,
and not to mention that this is Disney Hollywood Studios, and there's like a lot of space around it. Worst case scenario,
so much space.
They could just get rid of some parking space and just add the Monsters Inc. area there. So I mean, I'm not worried about Muppet Vision. I think it'll be safe.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm hopeful for that too. But yeah, I mean, Disney World is a blessing of size, so they got a lot of space to work with. And plus, they need the park capacity because the last time I went to Disney World, it was so crowded. The lines were so long. I did manage to do everything I wanted to do that day, but I remember like the worst part was I was in line for Tower of Terror, and the ride was awesome still, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like waiting in that line for so long without like lighting lane and all that stuff, like literally I don't want to get in like the whole like lighting lane situation because that whole thing's a whole another conversation. But
yeah.
The Disney parks need more rides to like fill up like the capacity because if you don't go there prepared, you're gonna have a rough time.
Oh, yeah, I totally agree. Like, if they're not going to fix the system with lightning lanes or whatever the fridge they're going to call it, like, they might as well have more attractions to spread the crowd.
Exactly.
All right, so moving forward with our news, back to what we got. Well, once again, we got another Pixar-themed area that's just going to be based on one movie. This time, going into the Magic Kingdom, we have a bit of an idea of what's going to be in store for what is called Beyond Thunder Mountain, and they have revealed that in Frontierland, there's going to be an area based on cars. So yes, Radiator Springs is coming to the Magic Kingdom, or in Orlando, Florida. And in there, they actually promised 2 brand new attractions that are going to be part of the area. And from the looks of it, like maybe there's a part of it that will be inspired by Radiator Springs Racers, but not entirely. It will be a bit more of its own thing where it will be all terrain based, where you're going to go through like dirt, mud, water, and all that kind of stuff. And they've actually recently reported just today, as I am recording this, that they are actually going to go and replace Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer Island. So they're going to go and remove the place. Construction is going to go and begin at the start of 2025 in order to make room for the new Cars area. So yeah, once again,
that's wild.
Yeah, so once again, it's the same thing with the Monsters Inc. area at Hollywood Studios, but now it's with Cars, and now it's going to be part of Frontierland.
Oh boy, where to start with this? Well, When I remember when I first watched a live stream, as soon as I saw Mater appeared on screen, I was thinking to myself, oh no. Because here's this thing. I was aware of these rumors like a while back saying like, oh, Disney might consider making like Radiator Springs and Magic Kingdom. And I'm thinking to myself, that's gotta be the dumbest idea possible. So I'm hoping that's like a rumor, but by that point when they announced that, I was like, all right, let's see what they have to announce. And when I first saw the concept, it was like, okay, so they're not like completely getting rid of Frontierland, but they're going to be part of it, which is like Cars doesn't really have that much to do with Frontier, unless it's like besides like the desert area, which I'm guessing that's what they're going for. And to be fair, the concept art looks promising, and they're going to like keep true to like the Frontier like aesthetics when it comes like the wilderness and all that stuff, which I do have to appreciate. But yeah, you mentioned today once they announced that they're going to like completely like flatten Rivers of America, my thought process like, oh man, this is going to piss off so many Disney adult fans. I just knew it, and immediately when I saw it through Twitter, yep, lots of people like so mad, so butthurt about this whole thing. And don't get me wrong, like I appreciate Rivers of America as an ex-person, but at the same time, it's like, how often do people really go on that? You know?
Not to mention, like, a lot of the recent problems that there are people dumb enough to go and try to swim the rivers of America. So it's like a way to go and it's a way to go and solve that so that they don't go and try, that like just make sure they don't go and like have that kind of problem again. And I will say this, that I never really cared that much for Rivers of America or Tom Sawyer's Island. I don't think I even went into the riverboat ever, so I don't personally have an attachment to that. But I do feel a little bit mixed where, on one hand, I'm not the biggest fan of the Cars movies. I do feel like they're some of the weakest films on Pixar's library. But then again, I honestly really liked Radiator Springs when I went to Disneyland. Radiator Springs Racers was a great attraction. I think my dad said that it was his favorite ride in the area, and he has no clue what Cars is. So from there, it's like, okay, you know what? Like, if they're gonna deliver something that's on the caliber of Radiator Springs Racers onto the Magic Kingdom, then personally, I'm all for it. Like, I'm honestly pretty welcome.
Oh yeah, and like I said with Avatar, like I appreciate Cars Land more as the theme park land as opposed to the films themselves. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Disney's going to do like a great job with the execution of this new mini Cars Land for Frontierland. And I know people are going to be upset by that, but at the end of the day, as Walt Disney said himself, like these parks are not museums. They just like keep moving forward with progress. Mm-hmm. Like the parks are never going to be complete. So I understand like I understand the mindset of like wanting to like get rid of like Rivers of America and like flatten up so that way I have like more space to work with, because it's not the first time they've done this. Because in Disneyland, like I doubt most people will know about this, but there used to be like a part of Frontierland called Nature's Wonderland.
Yes.
So that was like part of like Disneyland for decades, and then by the 80s they basically just get rid of it. Well, I wouldn't say 80s, more like 70s and 80s to get rid of it to make room for Big Thunder Mountain, Splash Mountain, the Country Bear Club, all that stuff. So it's like, yeah, it stings when something that's been there for so long has to be demolished, but it's what makes the memories count if you ever did experience it when you're a kid or now. And that's why when I'm going to Disneyland soon, I'm definitely going to make it my goal to, this is at Disneyland California, but still it's like I'm definitely going to make my goal to like go on the Mark Twain riverboat to explore like Tom Sawyer's Island, because I've done that before the past few times I've been to Disneyland California. And see, that's the thing too. It's like if they were to do this in California, there's going to be a much more bigger backlash, because that's been there since when Walt was. This is like when Walt was alive, when Disneyland first opened. So people are going to be more attached to that one as compared to this one, whereas like Walt didn't have any much to say in the matter of the one in Florida because, well, he didn't really care much about the theme park in Florida. He was more focused on building what was supposed to be Epcot, the big city. All that stuff. So the park was more just the aftermath in Florida.
Yeah, that is true. Like I understand some people do have that attachment, but like at least for me and like I guess for you too, it doesn't sound like that big of a loss. So we'll see how it goes when when that park opens, which I believe
Oh
they
yeah.
say. I believe they say like even though construction begins in 2025, I'm guessing it'll open in 2027 or something like that. We'll see.
And plus, if they make it generic enough, that soon enough, like they can get rid of the Cars IP together and just re-theme it to like something else. So
True?
I'm hoping that. Well, we'll see. I'm not sure. I don't see like in the concept art they have like car sculptures or anything like that compared to the one in
Um,
California.
a little bit. It's like
A little bit.
some yeah, like there's one concept art I see like some of the rock works they look a bit more like pistons.
Oh damn. I'll still take it because I don't know. I'm still looking forward to see how they're going to execute it. Like I'm a little bummed out, but hey, it's not like it's going to like taking over everything that's beyond Big Thunder, which we'll talk more about that later.
Oh yeah, definitely. Now moving forward, there is also the announcement of the Disney cruises, in which they announced that between 2027 and 2031, there will be 3 new boats that they are going to
Four.
add, or 4 new boats that they are going to add to their lineup. And on top of that, they have also confirmed a couple of new shows that will be a part of some of the boats. Now, for the Disney Destiny, they are going to have a stage production of Hercules. And as for the Disney Treasure, they're going to have a brand new show later this year that will be based on Moana, which they even promise a 15-foot tall puppet of Tekka. So that's going to be something that will be coming soon, specifically for the Disney Cruise Line. I guess
I gotta say,
yeah, go on.
oh, sorry, I was gonna say, I gotta say, 4 new cruise ships. That's insane. Like I thought they were in the process of making 2 ships as it is, but they have like 4 in the works. Like that's I. That, how many ships are there in total now? Like
I don't. I think they said like 13, or like I guess with the 4, now there's like 13. I think. Yeah,
that's wild.
there's going to be a total of 13.
See, I would assume like those like stick to like I don't know 10 ships, but I guess let's go the extra mile, just add like 4 more. And it's just like some that's like I mean, hey, I mean, I'm not sure how the cruise business works. I mean, I guess like if they add like more ships to their like profile, it'll be like beneficial for them. But yeah, I mean, I've never been on the Disney cruise before. Maybe someday I might try it out, but I don't know. I feel like 4 ships. I feel like that budget could have went to like something else, like I don't know, redoing Tomorrowland, updating Figment, just all that stuff. But hey, I'm not in charge of Disney, so what do I know?
Speaking of which, I'm actually surprised there is no Figment announcement. I guess
I'm surprised too.
Guess I'm stuck with Eric Idle again. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Maybe someday, buddy.
Yeah, some.
Someday.
All right. Anyways, moving forward, they have announced something for Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, and it looks like it's going to be getting a bit of the Star Tours treatment because in 2026, at the same time as the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, there is going to be an update in the attraction in which there will be a new mission in which you will be alongside Mandalorian and Grogu. And again, that's going to be coming out in 2026.
That's pretty cool. I mean, not much to say, but other than like, I come to expect the Millennium Falcon to do that at some point. Kind of like what they're doing with Star Tours. So
Yeah.
and that just also showcase that Disney kind of regrets making the land based on the newer trilogies because at this point they're just like jumping all over the timeline for the Star Wars. So
like I'm sure at some point it will be worthwhile. I mean, it's kind of like with the prequels that nowadays are very nostalgic and beloved, especially with some of the expansions like Clone Wars that made people attached to them. I'm sure down the line it will be worthwhile at some point. But it's just now. Well, it's just now especially with the success they have been seeing with many of the more recent Disney Plus shows. Like, they're just getting more onto that and trying to update, to keep on updating it to be connected with those.
Oh yeah, that's totally fair.
All right, and by the way, now we got some interesting news in which this is not necessarily related to theme parks, but this is actually based on their collaboration with Epic Games. You probably remember a while back that Disney has put in a $1.5 billion investment on Epic Games to do some collaborations with them. And Disney has so far announced some new skins that are going to be a part of Fortnite, along with the promise that they're going to do some new things with the company Epic Games. So apparently in terms of the Fortnite skins, you could play as some of the Disney villains like Maleficent, Cruella de Vil, and Captain Hook. You could play as some of the Incredibles characters like Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone. You can also play as some Star Wars characters like IG-11 and Moff Gideon. And also, there is a new event happening at Fortnite called Absolute Doom, in which Dr. Doom will be featured in Fortnite as well. Now, Logan, we did just talk about it before the show that you're not a Fortnite player, so I'm guessing that the live stream that you watched for this panel, it wasn't on Fortnite, was it?
Nope, it was surely not, and probably for the best. It looks like it'll be fun, but to me, I'm not really big on Fortnite. I'm just not much of a gamer as much as I used to be, so I had no interest in trying it out. But I mean, the skins look cool. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'll admit I have played Fortnite from time to time. I'll just see I'll see depending on how much it costs. If it's not too expensive, I'll consider it. But it's like, if I don't play it as often, then I don't know. It's like, it's a thing for me. But
exactly.
But
oh, sorry, what?
No. I was about to say, like, okay, we got those things, but let's go into probably the most fun part of the panel is when Deadpool himself came in. Okay, before we get into these announcements, I just need to ask you, Logan. Okay, so you've seen the live stream. What did you think about that segment with Deadpool coming in?
I gotta say, that was definitely one of the highlights because I'm honestly, okay, it's surprising that Deadpool himself, showed up to the panel itself or the live stream. It's another that he made these jokes that I'm glad Disney has a good sense of humor because otherwise, oh my god, that just seems like the whole him joking about it's one thing to joke about the broken Yeti, but it's another to joke on the Maleficent Dragon Fire incident. Oh my,
both of them, by the way.
Yeah, that's just they have a good sense of humor about it, and from time to time, you can't go wrong with a sense of Deadpool humor. I don't know if you can see the necklace.
Yeah, we do see it. You got it.
Oh yeah, so no, that was definitely cool, and also the deep cut references to Superstar Limo and all that stuff, and it's that's
or even
Disney park,
or even Deadpool coming in dancing and singing to Veggie Fruit.
Oh yes, that too, yeah. And it's all these deep cut references, Chef's Kiss as a theme park fan. It's I definitely love those references, and yeah, and this shows that you can make Deadpool work as a PG character, which people tend to have concerns over, oh, why are they promoting this R-rated character in the children's events? You can make Deadpool work as a PG character. You don't have to make him say the F word so many times. Honestly, I kind of like his humor better when he's PG than filthy rated R stuff. But hey, I mean, that's just me. But
yeah, I think so far the way Disney is handling Deadpool, not just with Deadpool and Wolverine, but also the way he's presented in the parks, I think it is honestly fantastic. And using him as a vehicle to just satirize and poke fun of themselves Like, honestly, I think it feels like a great breath of fresh air. And even when Deadpool came in, like, you know, it does feel like a fun little nod to, like, the die-hard Disney fans, or at least the die-hard Disney Parks fans, you know, to feel, you know, like, at least to feel like, you know, there are some things that they feel like they're heard, like they know about the jokes with the broken Yeti, or like they know about their little screw ups. So it was definitely a fun little moment right there. But let's
they're definitely aware.
But let's
Disney is
actually.
definitely aware. Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But let's actually get on to the actual announcements that they wanted to do. And no, it's not. We're not getting new Deadpool things coming up, but we are, however, gonna get a couple of brand new Spider-Man rides. First off, there's going to be a Spider-Man themed roller coaster at Shanghai Disneyland. And we are also getting another Spider-Man ride in Hong Kong Disneyland. But the biggest thing they have revealed is actually a massive expansion at Avengers Campus at Disney California Adventure, which they say it's going to be doubled in size, and there's going to be 2 brand new attractions, including the biggest of them all, Avengers Infinity Defense, which will be this like arm coaster type ride in which you're going to meet up with dozens of different Avengers superheroes, including Iron Man, who will be played by Robert Downey Jr. And you'll see in the concept art, you got a variety of heroes that you'll be joining, such as Iron Man and Ant-Man, and then you're going to Wakanda with Black Panther, the Wakanda people, and the Incredible Hulk, all to go and fight against King Thanos. And that's going to be a major thing that they will have coming soon. I don't think they have a release date announced, but that's going to be one of the major attractions they'll have coming soon at Disney California Adventure. So are you excited for these ones?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, I already visited Avengers Campus before the last time I went to Disneyland, and I actually like the offerings they have to like showcase there, because yeah, it's sad they got rid of the Tower of Terror to replace it with Guardians, but it's still Tower of Terror to me, and I still had a great time going up and down with, like, especially with like the music it plays, and also that Spider-Man ride. Let me just tell you what a great workout that is. Like, because do you know what that ride is, Matt?
Yeah, I heard that apparently it's kind of like Toy Story Mania, except like you would have to like keep shooting, like you got to keep working your arms in order to beat them.
Exactly, yeah. I literally been like doing this so much that I definitely got a good workout in. Like, I can definitely feel my arms swollen after that.
Hey, I mean, like, Disneyland is a place where you would definitely get a workout for your legs, so you might as well go and compensate with something for your arms.
Exactly. And so, yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to like the new expansion for this, because yeah, the multiverse thing is like, it's been overdone at this point, but when it comes to like making to a ride, oh man, the possibilities are endless, especially with that one concept trailer they released where they showcase like 2 Spider-Man and a couple of like, I mean, I remember like seeing one that's like the live action Spider-Man, the other one being the animated 2D version that's coming up soon at Disney Plus. So I'm definitely intrigued like where they're going to go with this. And we're seeing like a mixed medium of like live action, 2D, 3D, all that stuff. So yeah, granted, is it like the Spider-Man ride in Universal? Yeah, but hey, that's a good ride system, and I definitely love it. And so, yeah. And also, that new ride they mentioned for Avengers Campus, like, that's definitely a nice little surprise. Is it like a big e-ticket ride? No, but hey, I mean, it's nice to have like a nice smaller ride every now and then.
Yeah, like something to go and compensate. Like,
exactly.
It's like something to wait for the bigger ride, essentially.
Exactly, yeah. And I'm also down for like trying that out too. I mean, I'm not sure I'm gonna feel motion sickness wise, but I mean, I have a strong enough stomach that I can like manage those kind of rides. But the more you get older, the more you feel kind of like pain in some rides. So hopefully that's not the case for me. But you know, we'll have to wait and see. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, overall, I'm definitely loving what to do with Avengers Campus. It's definitely like, this is definitely a well-needed expansion throughout. And with the other rides too around the world, like whether I'll get to try those out or not, I mean, they look like they'll be like lots fun, especially with that Spider-Man roller coaster. I'm definitely intrigued where they're going with that.
Oh, yes. Oh, we'll see how that goes. But now let's go into the final announcement, the grand finale of the Disney Parks panel. After decades of rumors, they are finally going to do it. There will be a new land at the Magic Kingdom inspired by the Disney villains. Now, there is no word as to what specifically is going to be in there. All we know is that it is a land that will be completely themed to the Disney villains. And on top of that, not only will there be dining and shopping experiences, but there will also be 2 major attractions that will be coming soon. And apparently this is going to be placed somewhere next to the Cars Land that they have recently announced. So, Logan, I want to know, what do you think about that big announcement?
So remember the last time we talked about D3 2 years ago that they brought up the blue skies concept about this, and I was like, well, I want to be optimistic about this because I'm hoping this will become a reality. Well, here we are now. It has become a reality, and I'm very excited for this because holy crap, from what I've seen from the concept art alone, it just looks like it's going to be truly magical in the most evilest way possible.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God. I remember people have been talking about that for so long and how Disney had been developing that like in the 2000s or the 90s or whatever.
Oh, yeah. They've been like trying to going back and forth in this for like a while now. And it's like, it's finally becoming. Now, is it them competing with Universal? For sure, yeah. But hey, I'm not complaining. We're getting a villain's land out of this. So. Yeah, and the possibilities, what kind of rides is going to be. Like, if you look carefully in the concept art, it looks like one of the rides could be like a roller coaster type. As for what it'll be, I'm not sure. But, oh yeah, the possibilities of how this is going to be executed. So, like, I could imagine, like, the thing that I'm, like, definitely intrigued, like, who they're going to include within this land. Because have you seen that one teaser, like that social media?
Yeah, I did. Like, they did show the teaser and just a bunch of villains. Like, they did.
Yeah, the montage of villains.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Like, I'm definitely, yeah, they definitely showcase the ones that are going to be obvious. The Evil Queen, Captain Hook, Jafar. And then you see what some that are like, you didn't come to expect. Like, the one that took me by surprise, I'm seriously doubtful they're going to include him in the land, but they throw in clips of the Horned King from the Black Cauldron. Like, if they would bring him in that land, I'm sold. Like, I mean, I'm already sold the land as it is, but double sold for me.
I would be down. Like, there are some that I am surprised that, like, they even showed. Like, yeah, there are some, like Mad Madam Mim was also a nice inclusion. Also surprised they even showed, like, a little clip of King Magnifico from Wish. Like, honestly, I could see him be pretty fun, like, in the parks. Like, say what you will how he is in the movie, but oh my God, I can imagine, like, have him in the parks as a walk-around character. That dude's gonna be so great. But then on top of that, like, of course, like, you also got, like, a lot of Yzma as well. So we will see how it shall be. But I think it is safe to say that with all of this, I think Disney does have something to compete against Universal with Epic Universe. Like, not just with the Villains theme area, but also with the Cars Land, with the Monsters, Inc. land, and the Tropical Islands Animal Kingdom section. Yeah, they are set. I mean, it's gonna still be like a few years, but it's gonna be like they got stuff prepared for sure.
Oh yeah, they say like they're gonna be building all this within like 5 years, so we definitely got some time. But hey, it'll all be worth it in the end. And yeah, Grant, overall, what they announced, I say like 80% of it, what they announced, is like really good stuff. Granted, there's some stuff that I'm not too thrilled about, like the car stuff and the Monsters Inc. land is a little bit too much, but I do love what they're gonna do with the ride itself. So I say it's mostly just like positive, and whatever the negatives I do have with the stuff that they did announce, I'm sure like the way they're gonna execute it is gonna be like mind blowing because no matter what Disney's going to build, it's still going to be great no matter what. Because they're like past the days like making like the cheap stuff that you find like in the early 2000s.
By
Like,
the way,
this is not-
sorry, just want to interrupt because hold that thought right now. We're just going to go on to another break and then we'll have our conclusion. And then I'll go and ask you in the chat, what do you all think about the announcement? So stay tuned for that. All right, so we are back from our little break. So sorry for the interruption, Logan. But as you were saying with your concluding thoughts on the whole Disney Parks panel.
Yeah, I was gonna say overall, I definitely do enjoy what they have to announce for the future of Disney parks, and whether you're gonna like these ideas or not, I'm sure like in the end, the execution, no matter what, is gonna be like fantastic. Will there be issues down the road with like with the technical side of things? Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, just look at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I mean, I try my best not to watch like ride footage of that ride, but from what I heard, things are not going the greatest at the moment, but hey, when it comes to like new technology, I'm sure they're going to get that solved. And maybe it's for the best that Disneyland's version doesn't open just yet, so they can like learn that problems. But in the end, yeah, overall, I'm definitely looking forward to it, and the way it's going to be worth it when these things will eventually open.
Yeah, and not to mention that with Tiana's Bayou Adventure, what some people have not mentioned before is that Splash Mountain beforehand had a lot of problems prior.
Oh, a lot of
like
problems.
that's the thing is that the whole ride itself is already like it already has a bunch of technical issues. So even putting in a new skin, there will still be those same problems. So that honestly does not really surprise me that there are those hiccups along the way. But yeah, honestly, I'll even say the same thing. For me, like, I am just amazed with the Disney Parks panel and what I personally find to be so amazing. And one thing that was like, one thing that I feel like finally, like, they're addressing this is that now we're getting a whole bunch of new stuff in the American parks, like at Disneyland and especially at Walt Disney World. I feel like for the longest time, they've been putting so much of their energy and focus onto the international stuff, like with Hong Kong Disneyland, with Shanghai Disneyland, with Tokyo Disneyland, with Fantasy Springs. I mean, like, the stuff they've presented there, it's phenomenal. Fantasy Springs is absolutely beautiful, but I wish there was something that they could present in the American parks as well to show that there can be that, that they are worthwhile to go and see and that there are some new stuff in there, especially when Universal is introducing things like the Epic Universe and showing their brand of amazement right there that honestly, it's legitimately taking some attention away from Disney. And now they are presenting stuff like this, like new lands, new attractions. Honestly, these are things that I personally feel very hyped up for. Like, for me, like, yeah, I am excited for the Villains Land. Like, even today, my mom kept on checking up on me and asking me, like, Matt, is it true that a Villains Land is happening? Is the Villains Land thing real? And I was just, and I would keep telling her, I was like, yes, it's a thing. And like, even my mom is just there like, let's go! So yeah, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, for me, I would say even without going to D23, I already feel like this whole panel is a massive highlight this year. Honestly, like from the Monsters Inc. section with the Monsters Inc. coaster, the Encanto ride, the villains themed area, and like several other announcements. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these are a major winner.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I said, if I said anything negative before, I'm gonna like them eventually. So that's how I am with like every new addition to the parks. Like if they're gonna replace like an old attraction that I love, yeah, it's gonna be sad. But in the end, I know they're gonna deliver something that'll be maybe either quite as good or not as good, but still enjoyable regardless. So
that honestly sounds like the common internet reaction. Be as cynical as you could be with every announcement over everything you hear, and then you actually go and see it for yourself or try it out, and you're just gonna be either like, oh, that's actually not that bad.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so All right, so with that said, now I would like to go and ask the chat wall, what are your thoughts about the Disney Parks panel, and what are your personal highlights? I would love to know what you all think. All right, so let's see what we got here. This really ended up being fantastic. For me, I'm really happy Pandora is finally coming to Disneyland. Monsters Inc. is getting an entire land. Avengers Infinity Defense looks promising. And Villains Land is an awesome idea. And the Deadpool segment was hilarious. And honestly, this was the Disney Parks. This is what the Disney Parks desperately needs right now, considering how much Universal has been kicking their butts this year with all their announcement on Epic Universe. Oh, exactly. And that,
yeah. And
especially with most of the big announcements are for Walt Disney World.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Universal too, but I definitely love to see the best for both parks, for both Universal and Disney. So if one does succeed, then the other's going to push that more to the parks. So.
All right, so let's see. I got to say all the updates very intriguing. Granted, I can't say the same for the off-American version, because why do they always get the good stuff? Everything is like a mouthful of comments in every POV, like an animatronic Walt. Wow. A Lion King attraction, if it were based on the 2019 film, I think that'd be more like a Safari Jungle Cruise, just saying. All the Pixar-themed worlds, they got eye wide. It's a lot to go by. I hope they have the need to move on through. I'm very invested to see them all. All right. I hope to visit Animal Kingdom once more before Dinoland closes down. Well, you better hurry, because technically construction for that will start this fall. Anyways, I went there in 2012 and had a lot of fun. Took a lot of pictures, but then lost all of them except for one. Let's just say it was the first time I learned the word reformatting. I will say, I am looking forward to see the Tiana Ride, Villains Land, and Monsters Inc. Land. I also hope there's a scare simulator for us to test our roars for dummies. Also, Monster Sushi at Harryhausen's. Who's with me? Although I will say, unfortunately, no scare simulators, because this will be set after the first movie. So they're more into laughter than it is scares. They even promoted that in the ride.
Actually, it'll be interesting. I seriously doubt they'll go this route, but how cool would it be if they take the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor from Magic Kingdom and move it into that Monsters Inc. land? So that way they got I mean, that could be a possibility.
That could, actually. They could do that. I mean, we already talked about how, they moved Festival of the Lion King, but I also realized, technically, I think they also did move the Toy Story Mania when it was time to go and build that entire Toy Story land. So they could do that, too.
But we'll have to wait and see. I just now thought that when they mentioned, the Laugh Floor, it's okay, yeah.
That could be a thing. Anyways, I recently had a trip to the Disney park, so this is a great insight on what I can expect when I go back. The Villains Park looks awesome, the Coco ride sounds incredible, and the Cars rides could be fun since there's no Radiator Springs Racers in Walt Disney World, so I won't get a lot of that FOMO. Well, technically they do, it's called Test Track. But what really grabbed me is the Monsters Inc. land. I hope they find somewhere to put it so it doesn't replace Muppet Vision, but I love the idea. It may or may not be because I'm the token Laugh Floor stan. I think that's the comment where you got it from. All right.
Because I like Laugh Floors from time to time. It's not a bad attraction. It's just you gotta find the right people to present it.
Yeah, it's one of those that really define what Walt Disney said. It takes people to make dreams a reality, and it really takes the right people to make that a great attraction.
Exactly.
Let's see. All of these announcements sounds like they have a great deal of potential. I went out to Disneyland Paris with a friend back before Christmas, and I had a fantastic time. I will definitely be returning to Paris for the Lion King ride, but I do hope that one day travel to the States and experience the Florida and California parks in the near future, especially to experience their incoming new lands and rides. D23 was a panel I've been looking forward to for a while, especially for the announcements. All right. Epic Universe doesn't look so hot now, does it? I'd say I'm most excited for the Monsters Inc. land, unless it kills Muppet Vision, and Rivers of America being phased out. Even though the fate of Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor now seems a bit uncertain, I could tell that Disney knows exactly what they're doing with Deadpool. Also, as someone who only got into Fortnite because Disney bought it, seeing Elastigirl and some other Disney characters that I'm not as excited for, coming in to it pleases me. Okay. Oh god, how many people are gonna buy Elastigirl just for the simple purpose?
Tons of them.
Oh yeah. Let's see. I think I'll read one more comment out of all these. Coco, let's see now. Coco at Disney California Adventure is absolutely perfect here. Since we have a strong population of Mexican Americans in Southern California, this ride will definitely be a massive hit immediately at DCA. Encanto at Animal Kingdom isn't a bad idea either, since the film had animals, and I'm sure Antonio would help guide us around the casita. These are my biggest highlights for me, honestly. Oh, and the Walt animatronic looks beautiful. All right, so we are going to go onto a break yet again, but when we do return, that is when we are going to go and talk about some of the movies and shows. But we're not going to immediately go into what Disney has in store. We're going to check out what Disney's other divisions have in store. So stay tuned, and we will see what's going to be coming up for both Marvel and Lucasfilm. All right, we are back. So now that we have all the theme park news done, it is now time that we shall go and discuss about the entertainment stuff, specifically what has been announced in the Friday panel at D23 with all the major movies and all the major Disney Plus shows that are going to be coming soon. And we might as well go and begin, not with Disney, but what they will have in store with Marvel and Star Wars. And by the way, I will be using two different sources for the rest of this episode. The first main one will be discussing film, and then I have another one to go and clarify some things with IGN. So just to give you a heads up on that. So, starting things off, let's go on to the Marvel section. And we will go and begin with Captain America: Brave New World. Now, it is also worth mentioning, by the way, that a lot of the clips that they have presented at D23, they are the same ones that they have presented at the San Diego Comic-Con. In the case of Captain America: Brave New World, is to go and highlight the Red Hulk, who's going to be played by Harrison Ford. So to go and present President Thaddeus Ross, and then we see him transform and become his version of the Hulk, which is just a big red angry Harrison Ford. And that movie is set to go and come out on Valentine's Day 2025. And Logan, by the way, if you want to go and have something to say, you could go and interrupt me and actually say, put in your piece if you want.
Okay. Harrison Ford is Red Hulk. I mean, yeah.
I mean, he's already his attitude whenever he's asked about Star Wars, he's already like a Red Hulk as is. You know, it's like you ask him any Star
right there.
Yeah, any Star Wars question, he's like, I don't care. I just don't want to live anymore. Please let me be. I don't want to be Han Solo.
Let the man be, guys. But yeah, I mean, it looks like it'll be fun. Yeah, I mean, I might see it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Moving forward, we also got another clip that was shown at San Diego Comic-Con, which is the Fantastic Four First Steps, in which they showed a little clip and decided to go kind of retro with it, similarly to what they did with WandaVision, where we see Reed Richards, and we also saw The Thing on an old style dating game, and then also a little bit of Galactus as well. And that movie is expected to come out on July 25th.
Hopefully, this will be the first good Fantastic Four movie. Hopefully,
either that or they'll just be thrown back into the void and meet up with Deadpool and Wolverine.
Probably. Honestly, I didn't mind the 2005 movie as much. I know people didn't really care for that one, but I enjoyed it for what it is. Haven't seen Fan Four Stick, but probably for the best I didn't see Fan Four Stick.
Yeah.
Especially since I heard like the behind the scenes stuff. Oof.
Yeah, best to move on from that. Like, if anything, we need a reboot just to wash off our mouths from that moment.
Exactly.
But don't worry, not everything they've shown from Marvel is nothing but like rehashing the San Diego Comic-Con things. It's not like for the second time they decided to bring back Robert Downey Jr. to unmask himself to reveal that he's playing Doctor Doom. What they did though is present a new musical segment that will be coming to Agatha All Along. And not only having the cast do that little musical number, but on top of that, they also released the trailer for the Disney Plus series, in which that's going to be coming out on September 18th. And Logan, have you seen that trailer?
I did in preparation for this podcast because honestly, I mean, I like the song, you know. I mean, I feel like the show should be fine as it is, but I don't really know much about the character herself. I think she originally was a Fantastic Four villain or something like that.
I don't know, but I mean, like, knowing how Marvel can be at times and sometimes how they update their characters, I mean, I can imagine in the right hands they'll be able to make it on their own. I mean, the Punisher was originally a Spider-Man villain.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, even if they would do that, even if that is the case, it wouldn't be the first time.
Gotcha. See, I'm a casual Marvel fan, so I don't really read much of the comics. I just know the info from like the cartoons and so it's like, but I mean, it looks like it'll be not Agatha. That show looks like it'll be fine. Like that can definitely be like a nice Halloween show to watch during the Halloween season. So it definitely gives out like that vibe. Just put on your set up your candles and yeah.
It looks like honestly, looking at the trailer, even if I'm not as familiar with what's currently in the MCU or at least the details of it, it does look like a more mature or more horror oriented Hocus Pocus. You know, like if Hocus, like if Hocus Pocus took itself a bit more seriously and it's actually more horror based, that's what it looks like with what they're doing with Agatha All Along.
That's fair. So yeah, it looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And also, we got another Marvel series that's going to be coming up, which it is Ironheart, in which Ryan Coogler and the cast discuss a little bit and even showing a clip of what's going to be in store with the series and how they will turn Riri into the next generation of Iron Man, in which now it wasn't released publicly, but D23 guests were able to get a preview of that, and I believe I don't know if they even confirm when the series itself is going to be coming out, but maybe sometime soon. But we'll see.
I'm intrigued by that one. I mean, it'll be nice to get like a new, very different version of Ironhearts. I don't really know much about the character herself, but she seems like it'll be like a cool addition to the MCU.
Yeah, we will see. I mean, like, I've already seen Wakanda Forever, and honestly, I really enjoyed that film, and I had fun with Riri as a character. So seeing that spin-off series and have her like take the spotlight, I could definitely see the potential.
Oh yeah.
All right, and by the way, apparently some people are telling me that there's breaking news right now, a little off topic from Disney, but they're saying that now there's officially going to be a Ghostbusters animated series on Netflix that's going to be coming soon.
Oh, cool.
So,
anyways,
back to Disney. I believe...
nothing against Ghostbusters, but I mean, that sounds like okay, just one of those like news. It's like okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Next.
It's a thing. Anyways,
yeah.
We do have one more announcement from Marvel at D23, and that is for Daredevil Born Again, in which they will be, in which it will be like Disney's spiritual successor to the Netflix series, especially giving a second chance to Charlie Cox to go and play as Daredevil. And just like with Ironheart, they did get an exclusive trailer to see what is going to be in store with this series. And they have confirmed that the show will be coming out on Disney Plus on March 25th. Just out of curiosity, are you interested in checking out this series?
I'll be honest, I haven't really got a chance to watch the original Netflix Daredevil, but I will be intrigued because Daredevil is one of those characters that I am familiar with growing up as a kid. So yeah, when it comes to like the video games and all that stuff, not so much the Ben Affleck movie, but I will definitely be intrigued if given a chance to like watch it. And I could be wrong, but going back to what you said about the Punisher, isn't he supposed to be in this series?
I'm not sure. I mean, they didn't actually confirm like what they wrote here. They didn't say anything if Punisher would be showing up in this, but they did say that White Tiger is going to be making an appearance, and I do believe they say Kingpin will also be there. Or hold on. Oh, no. You're right, actually. No, Punisher is actually going to be in here. Like they did,
Okay,
like apparently in the clip that they showed at D23, they actually showed the Punisher confronting Daredevil.
Okay, that'll be cool to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure this is going to be one that a lot of people will be hyped up, and I think I might have misspoken in terms of when it's coming out. So it will, the series will be released in March of 2025. So just to go and have that quick correction right there.
Okay. And then, like, after really quick, honestly, like, after we're done talking about the Star Wars stuff, I'll give my whole thoughts about the whole MCU situation after the Star Wars, so.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so moving forward to the Star Wars announcements. First off, they officially released the trailer for Skeleton Crew, which that's going to be coming out at the end of this year. I believe they say on December 3rd. Logan, have you seen the trailer for this?
I had seen the trailer for it, and I didn't really think much about it, but what I mean, when I first saw the trailer, I thought, like, okay, this will be something cool for kids to watch and all that. But then, like, I noticed on Twitter, people are pointing out, like, all the Easter eggs towards Captain EO, and it got me thinking, like, people are, like, making the assumption that this could be, like, a potential, like, prequel to Captain EO, given, like, how two of the main characters that look kind of familiar to, like, Hooter and Captain EO himself, and you got, like, the little, like, butterfly creature in the cage. Not to say they're going to go in that route, but it will be, like, a mind blown if they actually go with that route. It's like, oh, this is, like, a prequel to Captain EO.
Yeah, that would be funny, honestly, because like I did notice that there was that little butterfly character that did show up, like just like a little reference, like that is straight up from Captain EO. But it's honestly kind of funny. Like now, this seems to be like a bit of a confirmation that Michael Jackson is part of the Star Wars universe, and like the crazy thing that happened in Captain EO, like even the dance sequence and stuff like that, that is now canon to the Star Wars universe. Like, when,
oh man,
like,
that's wild.
How do you explain those powers? Like, how do you explain Michael Jackson's dance moves? Is that part of like the Force? Is he a Jedi? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, let's say it's a force. It's some kind of force.
Yeah, maybe. Like either that, or maybe maybe the Jedi actually does have a new anthem. We are here to change the world. Man, how long is it going to be until we hear that in an official Star Wars thing?
Oh man, hey, if this series comes, I mean, who knows? Maybe the next. If Star Wars is desperate enough, who knows?
Oh, we'll see. All right, so moving forward, we also got an announcement in regards to Andor Season 2. Well, maybe not an announcement, but a little bit of an update on how things are going. Now, there is no official confirmation on when it is going to be coming out, but they did confirm that along with Cassian Andor, we are also going to see the return of 2 Rogue One characters, including Krennic, played by Ben Mendelsohn, and K2SO, played by Alan Tudyk. So that's going to be coming back. Have you watched the original Andor, or at least the Andor series?
Surprisingly, no. And I say surprisingly because I heard people say really good things about Andor. Like, it's like one of the best Star Wars shows on Disney Plus at the moment. And I just haven't got a chance to gotten around to it. But I mean, maybe one of these days I might get to it. But I just remember that when I've watched the previous Star Wars shows, the Obi-Wan show, Mandalorian, and all that stuff, it's like, yeah, it's fun for a while. But once I got to like Boba Fett, it's like I kind of like. Actually, no. I watched The Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2, Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan. And it's got to like, after I watch Obi-Wan, it's like, yeah, it's good. But at the same time, it's like, they've just been releasing so much Star Wars stuff to the point where it's like, it just felt like overwhelming. Same with like the MCU, so, which I'll explain later. So, but, I mean, maybe I'll give a chance, but we'll see. But like I said, heard good things about it, so.
Yeah, I just feel, like nowadays it feels like it's hard to really keep up with all the new Star Wars stuff, and like I've heard a lot of great things about Andor. Like, I just need time to go and like actually go and see it. And much like you, like honestly, I'm on the same boat. Like, I used to watch a whole bunch of the Star Wars shows, like with The Mandalorian, with Obi-Wan, with the Book of Boba Fett. But nowadays it's just like it's becoming more and more difficult to follow, especially when the quality just doesn't seem to be there anymore. Like they had something going with the start of The Mandalorian, but nowadays it's like, I don't know. Like honestly, the only thing that I would see that Star Wars that is worthwhile is Star Wars Visions. Like, those things are awesome. And then like, again, I'll consider checking out Andor when I do have the time.
Oh yeah, and also I got more to explain about my end of thing to Star Wars, but we'll continue with the rest of the news.
Yes. It won't be that long because we got one more major announcement, and that is regarding an update on Mandalorian and Grogu, which is going to be the next Star Wars movie that's going to be coming out on May 22nd, 2026. For now, it's just they mentioned that with Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, they just started a few weeks ago on the filming of it and showed little snippets of what's going to be in store with that feature. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, if I am gonna get back into Star Wars, I think like that could be one thing would actually be one thing to help me get back into it.
Oh yeah, same here. Like I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that they are making like a theatrical movie based on The Mandalorian. So didn't say I come to expect that to happen, but I'm not too surprised. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it because, like I said, I do love seasons 1 and 2 of The Mandalorian. Haven't seen season 3, but I didn't really hear that many good things about season 3, so I decided not to watch it. But who knows? Maybe the movie might pick things up. So definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, honestly, like hopefully it will be more akin to the to the first season than it is to the third. For me, I feel like what turned me off so much with the third season is how it tries so hard to connect itself with Clone Wars and throwing in all those references to things like, honestly, I haven't watched the show. Like, nothing against the series. It's just I haven't watched it, and I feel like the show is catering so much to that niche audience more so than like people who than like the broader Star Wars fan base. So it's like, honestly, if you're just gonna do it for them, then I don't feel as welcome. So that's what I'm hoping for with The Mandalorian and Grogu. That it would be more like season 1 more so than it would be season 3.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I'm just a casual Star Wars fan. Like, I haven't seen like everything that's Star Wars. I haven't seen the Clone Wars. I haven't seen the other TV shows. Like, I just stuck to like the original movies, and that's about it. Like, everything else after that, I mean, I heard the good things about it, but I just couldn't get myself like that invested towards it. Like, I'm not one to browse through like Wikipedia and just like know like every single detail about Star Wars.
Yeah, and by the way, since we've already covered all the major announcements, at least from Marvel and Star Wars, there was a thought that you mentioned. And by the way, I do apologize. No, I honestly, I didn't have the time, unfortunately, to check out what's been announced with the Marvel animation panel, which I heard apparently they did some reveals in regards to the animated Spider-Man series that's going to be coming soon. But I'm not as familiar with what's been announced there, and I do apologize. But Logan, you mentioned that you wanted to save your thoughts about the MCU, like for this moment right here. Now that we've covered those announcements, what is it that you want to go and add?
So yeah, overall, the reason why I didn't really say too much about like each individual movies and shows they mentioned for the MCU is because lately I'm kind of like pick and choose of like what I want to watch now when it comes to the MCU because ever since I want to say ever since like Thor 4, I'm at the point now where it's like, okay, the MCU is kind of like in a slip right now, and there's so much they've been releasing when it comes to like the movies and TV shows that it's like, I don't have to necessarily watch everything that the MCU has to offer. So if I see something that like that'll definitely grab my attention, I will definitely watch it. Because there have been like some before, like going back to Thor 4, that's kind of hard to say. Thor 4. That's so weird to say.
You can say Love and Thunder. It's much easier.
Yeah, true. Love and Thunder. There's that. Ant-Man 3. Like I just couldn't care less about those movies to the point where it's like, okay, I don't have to necessarily watch every single thing to get like enjoyment out of it, or just like follow through. And plus, I heard not good things about like other movies too, like the Marvels, and some of the shows are not that great. Like Secret Invasion, like that was absolutely terrible.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like, I wouldn't say I'm losing interest in the MCU. It's more just like I much rather like put my time and focus on the ones that I'm definitely want to like watch. Like going back to Deadpool Wolverine, that movie was awesome. I definitely enjoyed my time watching that. And so with these like future shows, I'm not sure. I mean, they look like they'll be fun, but at the same time, it's like I'm not sure if I'm gonna have like the time and patience to like sit down and watch like Agatha or. I mean, it sounds like they'll be intriguing, but how much investment I'll be into it? Like Ironheart sounds like a very intriguing character, but I might like watch the first episode to see how I'm gonna be invested into that. And same with Daredevil. It's like I'm not that familiar with the Netflix show. But I could be seeing myself like I don't have to like worry about like that and just like watch Daredevil, the new show as it is. But at the same time, it's like after episode 1, would I be that invested going forward with it? I don't know. It just seems like I'm just being picky at this point, like what I want to watch when it comes to you. So we'll have to like wait and see if I am going to be watching him or not. Most likely not, but I don't know.
No,
and then when it comes.
Sorry. No, I just wanted to say I completely agree with what you said. And there's even a comment that actually summarized it so perfectly that nowadays catching up with the MCU just feels like homework.
Exactly, yeah. And trying to like explain like the whole situation. Like I have like friends that want to be interested in watching the MCU, and trying to explain like how to watch these movies is kind of like complicated. It's like, okay, do you want to watch them how they were like released, or do you want to watch them during the timeline? You know, all that stuff. And there's like lists you can find online to like see where you can like watch these stuff. But I don't know. Like I said, like, yeah, one person pointed out like Logan the nitpicker. That's how I am at this point when it comes to the MCU. It's just like, yeah, I'm nitpicky. So, but yeah, don't get me wrong. I still like the MCU. I'm just truly invested as I used to be back when they first started. And then when it comes to like the Star Wars stuff, I'm going to be completely honest. The fan base pretty much ruined Star Wars for me.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I still like Star Wars. I'm a casual fan still. But when it comes to like them like releasing new Star Wars stuff, I'm not looking forward to it because people are just going to complain to no end about like, oh, they're doing this, oh, they're doing blah. And they're just being so toxic that it gets so nasty that I just can't see myself like associated with that anymore because man, these people are just awful. Not to say like all Star Wars fans are awful. It's just like those select ones that truly just like make me so mad. That's just
it's like they surround their life on just hating Star Wars. It's like
exactly, yeah.
It's like that's their personality now. It's just consume nothing but Star Wars and find reasons to get mad at it. And a lot of people are even pointing out that's what The Acolyte has now become. It's a show in which people are just like, it's really just the only way that people can communicate about the show is being angry with it.
Dude, I don't get me started on the Acolyte situation. That whole thing is like, I just want to like stay clear from that, because that honestly is like, I'm just like embarrassed for those people that like think that way. It's like, dude, there's like more important things to worry about than just like complaining 24/7 about Star Wars. It's like, come on. It's just like, let them make the shows that they want to make. Like, don't blame this solely on Disney. Don't blame this solely on art. Just let the people make what they want to make, and they'll have an audience for it. They'll appreciate it. Just, they're not appealing to you. You need to get over it. There's more to life than just Star Wars. And people are saying like, oh, the prequels the prequels are so much better now. It's like, no, those are crap. I admit they're crap, but at the end, Star Wars, the fan base just kind of like ruins it for me. And normally, like, the fan bases don't ruin me, but with Star Wars, every time I like think about it, it's like, I don't want like to go that route, like there's like the toxic haters and all that stuff. I feel like I need to take like Advil after this.
It honestly feels like it's becoming harder and harder to just watch something and just enjoy it, or like have your own opinion, instead of instead of having the whole internet just bombard you, like, it's
exactly just... like, see, I may disagree on stuff, but when I disagree on something, it's harmless. Like, it's smaller things, like, oh, I'm not liking how this movie's being directed, or I'm not liking how Disney's making this or that. Like, it's not so much the people that are involved with it. Like, it has nothing to do with the race, nothing to do with the gender. Like, it's harmless stuff that I can. It's just like when people complain about, like, okay, I don't want to get like too political here, all that stuff, but we'll just say like, I'm like with the MCU, I'm kind of selective how I watch Star Wars, but at this point, I'm just not invested with like the fan base of it, because the fan base. Not to say all the fan base on Star Wars is terrible, just like those few selects that are just like...
No, I'll even say, no, like, I completely understand, and even the chat wall completely agrees with you. I'll even say, like, this is a bit of a hot take, even animation fans in general can honestly really feel that way. Like, nowadays, like, it's just, like, nowadays, I feel like with animation fans, not all, but, like, some of them, especially when it comes to influencers, that they can only be angry when it comes to mainstream stuff. Like, anything that is not from smaller independent creators or those who make videos on the internet, like, they can only be angry. They can only rant. They can only explain about how they suck and stuff like that. It's like, there's a part of me a part of me just wonders, it's like, can I just watch something and actually enjoy it,
Exactly, yeah. And it's not healthy to be angry and miserable. Like, I get like, okay, nobody's perfect. I totally understand it. Like, I'm not perfect. But at the same time, it's like, if you keep yourself very negative 24/7, that's not healthy. Like, you don't want to like have like that emotion. Like, I don't want to like hang out with you if you're going to be like angry throughout the whole time. Like, I'm just here to have a good time. But if you're like that person that's just like talk like smack about like politics, religion, all that stuff, it's like, why am I'm going to go over here to talk to this person. I'm sure they have something interesting to say. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just so like, and I get it. People tend to like do that to get like views because, hey, people love watching people get mad over something. Mm-hmm. There's a difference between playing a character and just letting out your own expressions to the point where it's like, this is like depressing to watch.
Yeah, and I think someone in the comments actually summarized it best. Let me love Wish and don't tell me to not like it. That's a good way to sum it up right there.
Exactly. Or somebody says, let me love Brie Larson. It's like, yeah, let people love what they want to enjoy. Mm-hmm. Sorry this got like heated. It's just I try not to be that kind of person.
I think it's honestly a good discussion to have. I think it's worth bringing up how, like, like the negativity on the internet can often like really put a downer mood, like when you just want to enjoy stuff. Like, trust me, I get it.
Exactly, yeah.
And
go on.
Sorry, what? No, you.
I was gonna say, I was gonna say for my final thoughts when it comes to like the Star Wars Marvel things, like, yeah, this stuff looks really cool. Will I be watching it? Maybe, maybe not. I might give some of these shows a chance, but in the end, it's more like if I feel like I want to watch it. I'm not gonna like force myself to watch something that I know I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, so we're gonna go on to a quick break, and when we do return, now we're gonna have your voice. So prep up what you want to say about what we've discussed about Marvel and Star Wars. Like, and I don't mean the discussions of what we just have here about the fan base and stuff. I want to know your thoughts about the things that they have announced, and if there are some additional things you want to add that we haven't discussed about yet, please do so. Let me know what you all think after these messages. All right, so we are back, and now let's go and see what you have to say about the Marvel and Star Wars announcements. For me, I'm definitely the most excited for The Mandalorian and Grogu, and as a huge MCU fan, I'm excited to see what they have to offer, and I'm the most excited for Daredevil Born Again. However, I'm a little disappointed that they didn't reveal anything new and stuff we already know about. Although, let's be honest, nothing would ever top the reveal of Robert Downey Jr. returning as Doctor Doom. That is definitely true. I think, like...
That's a surprising...
Yeah,
that was surprising for me.
Oh, yeah. Like, honestly, like, they already had their major moment with San Diego Comic-Con. Like, this, like, with D23, it's nothing more but little extras. That's it. I mean, like, we're lucky that we even got some new announcements with stuff like Daredevil Born Again and with Agatha All Along and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. And quick thoughts on the Doctor Doom thing. I mean, I know people don't like it, but I personally don't like that. I mean, I'm intrigued to see where they're going with that direction.
Yeah, we'll see. Like, if the Russo brothers have a great idea of what they could do to execute that, then maybe this could be something that is worthwhile. But again, that's something we'll have to wait and see. And I think in like 2 years now, I think that's when Doomsday is going to come out.
2026.
Yeah. Anyways, to start off, Andor Season 2 looks dope, and The Mandalorian and Grogu could be interesting. But the Marvel news, that is the real meat and potatoes. Red Hulk looks absolutely sick. Ironheart could be cool, since I like how she was portrayed in Wakanda Forever. The new Fantastic Four looks really inventive and unique, and Agatha All Along is giving off major Hocus Pocus vibes, musical numbers and all. Overall, great panel. This almost makes up for the Doctor Doom nonsense from Comic-Con, but not quite. Well, interesting enough. All the Star Wars announcements are great. By the way, I met the film director Sharmeen Obai Chinoy while working on my last day of internship at SOC Films in Pakistan. Had a great time talking to her. It's a production studio where they focus on short documentary films, social media campaigns, as well as filmmaking mentorship for women. And yes, outside of that, she will be directing the next Star Wars film, and I am excited to see the next story on Rey when the movie comes out in 2026. Oh, that is honestly surprising. I'm kind of, they actually didn't talk about that in D23.
Yeah, I kind of forgot, but they're making a Rey movie. Hey, maybe they'll announce it for 2026 for the next D23.
Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, this section of the news looks cool. Like The Mandalorian and Grogu and Deadpool and Wolverine, thanking Kevin Feige a very special thank you for letting us make a few teensy jokes at Marvel's expense. I swear to God, if Jar Jar Binks is in here on the Star Wars movie, then I'll be super angry and going to kill him. Also, some people... what the fridge is going on here? That went unhinged pretty quick. Also, some people that did pass away, like the Fur Affinity's founder, Dragoneer, former CEO of YouTube, Susan Wojcicki, and already mentioned Rachel Lillis, the voice of Misty in Pokemon. Yeah, there's been some unexpected deaths that were pretty unfortunate. Anyways, well, I could say I'm a little split on everything in these features. Like, I feel invested on Marvel's Ironheart, Agatha, and Captain America. What 4.1 is it? And of course, Star Wars with the Mandalorian movie, very intriguing to seeing it. Although you not only are surprised that Michael Jackson's character is canon, I guess it was their way of apologizing to Michael Jackson for rejecting him from the cast of the first prequel, while it says they did him a favor. By the way, no joke. Oh, I think that it's mentioning the fact that Michael Jackson was almost Jar Jar Binks, or Michael Jackson wanted to be Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, that would have been a different take. Not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Not sure if he'll do that voice or not, but it's Michael Jackson, so he'll do his own voice.
Come on, Obi-Wan. Misa gonna help you.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, what other comments do we have here? Nothing but MCU greatness for the foreseeable future. Agatha all along, Armor Wars, and Brave New Worlds are all going to be awesome. I was hoping for She-Hulk Season 2 to be announced, but hopefully my girl Jen will be in the BNW in the Brave New World. Also, I am both excited and concerned about Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Excited because it's going to be a great new show, but concerned that Star Wars fans will bully the child actors until they ruin their lives just like they did with Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, going back to our, not to bring that conversation again, but hopefully that's not the case with these kids.
Yeah, hopefully they'll get better treatment. Like they'll like hopefully like if it does happen, hopefully like there'll be a larger group that will defend them.
Yeah, people say like the prequel films are actually good. No, the fan base back then was awful.
Oh yeah, no. Well, the irony is that most of the haters of the prequels are now the haters of the sequels. Like they're legit the ones changing their opinions to say no, the prequels are actually good. That's like, nah, shut up, man. Quit your virtue signaling. All right, I think I'll read two more comments here. I mostly have stayed away from Star Wars due to the toxic cesspool that was the fan base, and I am planning a Marvel watch next year, so excuse me if I am a bit out of practice, but most of the stuff sounded great, especially the Marvel stuff, but I am majorly behind due to all the homework, so sorry if I can't watch this on premiere date, but I can't wait when the MCU comes back in a major way. Hey, I mean, we just talked about how we're on the same boat as you, dude.
Yeah. When you start, make sure you watch one movie per day. Don't binge watch every single movie within who knows how long it takes to watch all that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Anyways, for the TV shows, nothing too grabbing, but if I have any time, which I rarely do, I'll check out any Marvel and Star Wars shows as soon as possible. In fact, I'm more interested to knowing how they will portray the Fantastic Four and how the multiverse saga ends with the last two Avengers movies and how Robert Downey Jr. is going to play out. Will this be the final book of the entire MCU, or will this be the sign of a third saga?
Yeah, third saga.
Yeah.
No question about it. Hey, if it makes $1 billion, stop it anytime soon.
Oh yeah. All right, so yeah, and I think they already mentioned that they might already have plans for like what's going to be happening in the next 10 years. All right, but with that said, we're going to go on to our next break, and when we do come back, this time we will be entering upon what Disney shall have in store, but more specifically, what they will have in store with their live action movies. So stay tuned for that. All right, we are back. So now that we've had our major discussion about Marvel and Star Wars, it is now time that we shall go and talk about the live action productions that Disney will have in store. And the first one I might as well go and discuss. Now, technically this is not really Disney. This is technically 20th century. But they did reveal some new things in regards to the third Avatar movie, in which it is called Fire and Ash. And they did reveal some concept art of what's going to be in store and how this is going to be a bit more fire themed in this, just like how The Way of Water is more water themed. And they did confirm that it shall be coming out at the end of next year in December of 2025.
You sure about that, James Cameron?
I mean, we'll see. I mean, hey, he was able to bring out the second movie, so at least
True
that's
that.
something.
A decade later.
Yeah,
for
real.
Like I mentioned in the Avatar Land section, not the biggest fan of Avatar. Maybe I might give this movie a chance, but I still haven't seen the second one. Maybe it's like I'll put it as like background noise when I'm working on my animations, but I mean, if I'm sure it'll make like $1 billion still. So it's like more movies will come. So eventually, I might get around to watching the sequels.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I'm the same here. I'll go and like, let me go and check out the second film first, and then like we'll get into the third. I might like just to like get into it. But we'll see how it goes. Out of all the announcements that has happened, Logan, I gotta say, this one has to be the weirdest of them all. Because Disney has announced a collaboration with Dwayne Johnson for a Monster Jam movie. Yes, you know the monster trucks? Like those things, that whole brand that's all about the monster trucks? Yeah, apparently there's going to be a movie with that Dwayne Johnson is making with Disney. And now we got this weird image that says Disney's Monster Jam. Why the fridge is the Disney logo with the Monster Jam logo? What the fridge is this, Logan?
Well, I'll give him credit. It's kind of original idea, right?
I mean, sure, but it really feels like a word jumble. It's like random things that you would pick, or it's like Mad Libs. It's like a Mad Lib movie. It's like, okay, name me a company, Disney. All right, name me an actor, Dwayne Johnson. They are both going to be making a movie based on, give me a property, Monster Jam. Okay, got it. Disney and Dwayne Johnson are collaborating to make a Monster Jam movie. I'm sorry, what?
when you put it that way, it's kind of odd, but hey, isn't that what's great about like movies? It's like, it's all like the risk. Let's just see how well this experiment will turn out. So
I guess.
But then again, it's coming from Dwayne Johnson, so I'm sure it's going to be like his more generic side of things, where it's like, oh, he's not really playing a character. He's just Dwayne Johnson. So yeah.
I don't know. It's like, honestly, if Disney would make something that's all about monster trucks and stuff like that, I would expect like maybe it's like some kind of Cars spin-off film, not a movie with freaking Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, could be worse. It could be like that one monster truck movie with the actual monster within the truck.
Oh god,
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah. Rather not get into that nightmare. But anyways, let's continue forward with other announcements. Now, for the panel itself, they did close off with the trailer of Mufasa, the Lion King, even bringing in Lin-Manuel Miranda to go and present one of his brand new songs that he has for the feature, in which the film is going to be coming out on December 20th of this year. And Logan, you've seen the trailer, right?
Yep.
What did you think?
False advertisement. That's not live action. That's animation. They showcase on the live. To be honest, the first Lion King remake, I was bored out of my mind because it's just like the original. And with this one, I feel like if they release this first and have people like acknowledge like this is a prequel towards the original Lion King, I would have been more invested into that idea as opposed to this being the prequel towards the remake version. But who am I to know? I mean, would I be watching this? Maybe when it's on Disney Plus, I might watch it just out of curiosity. I mean, it sounds like it could be like an interesting idea to see the backstory of Mufasa and Scar. And honestly, when watching the trailer, not to sound specious towards lions, I couldn't tell which lion is which.
Although although I will say there is one thing that honestly caught my attention. Like you got the evil lions coming in. I think now is finally time that after all these years, Kimba's finally getting his revenge, yo!
Dun, dun, dun. I was gonna say, as soon as I saw that, it's like, oh, that seems like a dick move towards Kimba.
Absolutely. The fact they even bring in an evil white lion into the mix, it's like, okay, man, it's like probably not intentional, but that feels a little too on the nose that suddenly you're bringing in some white lions to fight against Mufasa. But also, I gotta say, like, for my quick thoughts on the trailer, it's like, I don't know. Like, I do see that they're trying to be more expressive with the animals, and honestly, a lot of it kind of feels weird. That, and also, one thing that really does throw me off is Taka's voice, or technically Scar's voice. I feel like they really exaggerated the pompous British accent, like, "Oh, mummy, I see there is a lion over there. Oh, can we have him here? Oh, you know, I like to be brother. I've always wanted a brother. How about we go and sing a little song about it?" It's like, that, you know, that's like the accent you use if you want to go and make fun of the royals. Like, what the fridge is with that voice?
I mean, the Lions are royalty, so I guess, yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's more satirical than anything. Someone even comment. There's a lot of Stewie Griffin vibes.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, Mufasa, do you want to go and be brothers? I'm sure nothing is going to be wrong with that.
Is it because Jeremy Irons is British?
I don't
Is that
know.
why?
I have no idea. But yeah, that's gonna be a thing, though. Anyways,
yeah, I mean,
go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say, I mean, I might watch it as like background noise. I mean, it looks harmless. I'll give it that.
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't know. I don't have high hopes for it.
The one thing, make this really quick. The one thing I'm definitely intrigued about this trailer is what's up with like that scene of Timon and Pumbaa fighting against the lion in the fire background. Like, I am more intrigued about that than anything else in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, you know, like they showed that in the teaser as well, but they never really mentioned it. Like, they just mentioned in the beginning that no, Timon and Pumbaa are not going to be in this story. They'll be in the movie, but I don't know. Well, maybe they're like, that's like the main plot, and then there's like a side plot happening that's currently in the present, you know, kind of do like with because I mentioned this before, because Mufasa is taking the Godfather Part 2 route, because the main thing is going to be the prequel about the rise of Mufasa, how he became the king. Maybe there's also going to be a side plot as well with what's happening in the present that is going to be a legit sequel.
Probably, but I just find that interesting. It just makes like, it's kind of funny seeing like Timon and Pumbaa being like badasses in that moment. It's like, I don't know what it is. I'm kind of intrigued by that.
Yeah, make a more action-packed Timon and Pumbaa. Yeah,
Yeah.
Then again, it's the remakes of it. I'm sure we got a lot more action-packed Timon and Pumbaa in the series.
Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't watched much of the series, but yeah.
Yeah. So moving forward, we got another new trailer that came out in which they have discussed about the Snow White remake, which we were supposed to have this year, but they ended up delaying that to 2025. So now that we got a little taste of what's going to be in store with that remake, the people at D23 got a little bit more, where they actually did see the scene where Snow White sang "Whistle While You Work," and we even got a closer look at the dwarves. And that movie is going to be coming out in March 21st next year. So what did you think of that trailer?
I mean, what else to say about these live action remakes? I mean, I will give this movie credit. It certainly does look like Snow White if it is in the live action or whatnot, but at the same time, I just given up on the live action remakes at this point. Like, they just don't. I feel like if I were to go see them, I'm just gonna be like bored out of my mind, just thinking to myself, okay, this is not like I should view these as like their own thing, but I just can't, because they're just trying to replicate the original movies, but do it in a lesser way and make it more like dull and such. Like, literally, the only good thing people are saying about this movie is Raquel's like singing, and it's like, yeah, she's a good singer, and don't get me wrong, she's a good actress in other movies too, but it's more like the direction that they're gonna go with these movies, because I'll be honest, when I saw the Little Mermaid remake, I didn't plan on wanting to see that movie, but long story, I ended up seeing it, and I was so bored out of my mind watching that movie, because the acting was dull, the scenery was dull, the songs are well sang, I'll give it that, but overall, I just like it just makes me want to like go to sleep just like watching that because there's like no excitement and it's literally just watching the original movie. So I don't know. It just seems like and plus also Snow White is one of those movies where I feel like Disney should not touch when it comes to like a remake or sequels because this is the movie that defined Disney. Like it helped started the empire and did a lot for animation. Granted, it's not the first ever animated movie, but it's definitely the most important when it comes to like animation in America. And so I definitely have like deep respect for that movie. And even if you don't care for the movie itself, like you gotta definitely respect it for like starting the whole animation empire and all that stuff. So it's definitely one of my personal top 10 favorites when it comes to the animation canon. But with this remake, I know people are excited for it. I'm just not one of those people.
Yeah, like even when I watched it, like I don't care of the freaking controversies of the past. I don't even mind Rachel Zegler playing as Snow White. It's just it's another remake and that's it. And it has like the same things that you would come to expect. I mean, there are some interesting things. I'll give it that so far the production design looks very promising and it does like at least like the scenery and the backgrounds and even the cottage looks very much like what we got in the 1937 movie. Everything else, however, it's just I'm not really that interested, honestly. It's just like we're getting a live action remake. We come to know what to expect. I'm just worried because of the fact that this is based on one of the golden era and animated movies, like among Walt Disney's earlier films. And what I consider to be the worst of the worst in the live action remakes are Pinocchio and Dumbo. So now that you add Snow White into the mix, that's very concerning.
I feel like they won't go the route with Pinocchio and Dumbo because the way I see these remixes, there are like two different kinds of Disney remakes. There's the dull, boring, and forgettable ones, and you got the dumbed down, childish, and forgettable ones. And the Dumbo and Pinocchio ones lie in the latter because I mentioned before I didn't mind the Pinocchio remake, but now it's one of those movies that the more I think about it, the more it actually got worse. Because if you got Pinocchio smelling horse shit, like you already did something wrong. Like, why would you do that to a classic character like that? Like, no. And with Dumbo, they dumbed down the storyline so much that they're allergic to show, don't tell. Like, okay, can I, like, watch what happens?
Not to mention the, like, and this might sound bad, but, like, the robot children. Welcome, baby Dumbo.
Yeah.
I shall go and help you now.
Nothing against those kids, but man, Tim Burton did not direct those kids well.
No.
Like, ugh. But yeah, in the end, it's another generic live action remake. It's going to be forgotten. It's going to make a lot of money in the box office. People are going to forget it once it's out of theaters, and they're going to go back to the original classic. So, like, literally, I don't recall anybody talking about the Little Mermaid remake or the Aladdin remake. Like, it's always people always go back to the original animation films because whenever I hear people talk about these remakes, they only talk about them as a group, not so much like, oh, my favorite movie is Aladdin. I so love, it's like if you say that to me, it's like I respect your opinion, but okay.
Yeah, so that we can agree that is a thing. Then moving forward, they also revealed some new info in regards to Tron Ares, bringing in the cast including Jared Leto, and even mentioning that Jeff Bridges is also going to be coming back. And on top of that, they even made an announcement that 9 Inch Nails are going to be providing the music for the feature, and that's going to be coming out on October 10th of next year. So,
see, I like Tron.
Yeah?
I like Tron. I definitely enjoy the second film, Tron Legacy. Like, I know people don't really care about that movie, but honestly, I enjoy it for what it is. And I know you mentioned earlier, Matt, that you did ride the ride at Disney World.
Yes.
I have yet to ride it, but it looks like it was like lots of fun.
One day, when you go back to Disney, you gotta, man. It is phenomenal.
Oh, I will. Especially like the ride system, all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'll definitely see this movie when it does come out because Tron is definitely one of the that I definitely have a lot of respect for, especially with the first movie. Like the way that when what it does to like computer animation back then. Is it outdated? Yeah, but you gotta appreciate what they did back then.
Yeah, I honestly, like, as much as I really do enjoy Tron Light Cycle Run, like, I'm not that big in terms of the movies. Like, it's been a while since I've seen the first movie. The second film, I haven't even seen it yet, so I don't have that much interest. That and also, like, another Jared Leto movie, I'm just not that interested.
Wait, he's gonna be in this?
He's starring in this. He is Ares.
Dang.
Oh yeah, because apparently being the Hatbox Ghost is not enough. No, he also has to be in Tron.
Dang, I forgot about that detail. Yeah, I saw the Haunted Mansion movie. That was boring.
Yeah, I've heard some people comment that they say it's kind of better than the 2003 movie, but not by much.
Honestly, I feel like I got more out of the Eddie Murphy movie than the remake.
Oh, damn.
That's how I see it. That's saying a lot, honestly.
Oh, that's honestly a bit sad right there. But anyways, moving forward, we also got the Lilo and Stitch remake, which not only have they confirmed that it is now going to be released in theaters in summer of 2025, but also we actually got our first ever look at how Stitch is going to be. Like, we actually got our first look at the live action Stitch. And what did you think of that?
Oh, I know, a third live action remake. What are the odds?
Hooray.
To be honest, I actually like how they execute Stitch here. Like, he definitely looks like Stitch. I don't see why people are complaining about it. I mean, it certainly looks... And no, Twitter, he's not as bad looking as Ugly Sonic.
Yeah, that's an exaggeration. Come on.
Exactly, yeah. But honestly, that's why I imagine what a live action Stitch will look like, because when I first heard news about this remake, I was kind of concerned they're going to execute him. Like, yeah, he's an alien, but like, is he going to look more like his animated stuff or his live action, or more like a unique looking... Or his original design back when Chris drew him back in the 80s, like, you know. But honestly, I like what they did with him. He definitely looks like him. And as for the movie itself, I could be wrong on this, but I feel like it's going to lean towards like what I said earlier about like the dumbed down side of things of the live action remakes, because I don't know, I feel like they're going to like dumb down the whole storyline and like they got like, because this was originally meant to be Disney Plus, but I guess now they're going to push it to theaters. So my expectations are kind of low when it comes to the story side of things. However, you know, forget Stitch. I wouldn't know how they're going to execute like Jumba, Prickly,
Yes,
Tontu.
I was about to say.
I'm curious to know how they're going to execute those guys. Like, are they going to go like the extra freaky, Prickly especially, like the one eye? How are they going to do the one eye thing? Like, you know?
Yeah, that's my concern. It's like, okay, you got Stitch, but how are you going to bring in Jumba and Pleakley in 3D? That's honestly my fear. And honestly, I would say when it comes to Stitch, it's like, okay, I honestly don't hate it. You know, I'm not in love with it. I'm not saying like, oh my god, this is so revolutionary, but it's like, I look at it and it's like, okay, this is fine. It's exactly what you'd expect. It's, you take Stitch and you try to make him realistic. That's
exactly
basically what you get.
It's like what they did with Pinocchio, whereas like, yeah, everything else is different, but Pinocchio he looks exactly like he did in the version. So
yeah,
I kind of appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie.
All I'm asking is that hopefully with Stitch, they're not gonna do like the ending of Pinocchio, where suddenly you see him like slowly morphing into flesh. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I don't want to be reminded of that, but I remember it.
Yeah, so basically that's the whole gist of it. Like, I am curious about the movie because I am familiar with the director. I don't know if you have seen Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, but that movie is so good.
Oh, I did not know about that. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, but I heard great things about it because I was familiar with the character herself, Marsha of
Mm-hmm.
the Shells. I heard really good things about
Yeah,
it. I mean, who knows if executive meddling isn't involved with this movie, I hope for the best for that this movie would let the director direct the movie, okay? That's all
yeah.
I gotta say. If that's the case. So
That's one. Yeah, Dean Fleischer Camp. That's one thing I will give this Lilo and Stitch movie. They got a great director. If they can let him do what he does, like he did with Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, then maybe this Lilo and Stitch remake could legit be worthwhile.
yeah, maybe not as good as the original, but who knows? Maybe it could be like the rare case where this could be like one of the better live action remakes, like The Jungle Book or The
Uh,
Jungle Book.
or well, technically, I would also include Mary Poppins Returns. I know not many people like it. I actually do. I do consider it one of the better ones.
I see that more as a sequel than anything,
Well, I
but
mean, it
hey,
is a
to each
sequel,
their
but the
own.
purpose of it is like a remake.
Pretty much, but I thought that movie was okay, but
All right, fair enough. Hey, Ali. Hey, at least it's better than bad.
yeah, exactly.
All right, and by the way, now that like these aren't all the announcements over here, but there are a few extra ones. They did mention also that there is going to be a new season of Percy Jackson that's going to be coming out next year that they hinted out on, and also they've made some announcements in regards to theatrical productions, and I mean specifically the stage productions. They revealed that The Greatest Showman is going to have a stage adaptation. There's also going to be a West End production of Disney's Hercules in London. And finally, the Frozen Broadway musical is going to be getting the Hamilton treatment, in which next year it will be on Disney Plus, where we're going to have a film version be presented on the streaming platform. Any thoughts on that, Logan?
I gotta say, I'm definitely looking forward to The Greatest Showman because I really do enjoy I enjoy the music more than the plot of the movie itself. But seeing that come to Broadway, I mean that's a no-brainer right there. So
Mm-hmm.
if ever I get the chance to actually see it, whether it be like in New York or just traveling, I'll definitely want to check it out, or at the very least buy the soundtrack because I definitely love the music.
Yeah, and
Her-
and I have heard, by the way, for Frozen that or were you talking about Frozen or The Greatest Showman or?
oh, The Greatest Showman. I was talking
Oh,
about.
sorry. Okay, sorry. I was thinking for some reason I was thinking you were talking about Frozen. Go on.
Oh no, I was gonna say, Hercules. Yeah, I come to expect that. I mean, I'm sure that'll be like really great for the musical side of things because, hot take, Hercules is one of my least favorites when it comes to the animation canon. But I
Oh.
absolutely love the music.
Oh yeah.
I know it's hot take, I know, but that's
It's
a long
fine.
story. And as for Frozen, funny thing, I actually did see. Well, not at New York, but I did see when I was in Korea. But I only went to saw like the first half, and then I left for the second half. Not because it was bad, but more because my niece I went to see it with, she got kind of like antsy about it, so we decided to leave halfway through. And it's like, okay, I'll take it. But I mean, from what I saw, it looks like it's like really good. And I didn't get a chance to like listen to like the full soundtrack of the Broadway version of Frozen. But hey, now's my chance to see it on Disney Plus. So, and I did like how they did Hamilton on Disney Plus. So I'm sure I'll get the same vibes out of the Frozen Broadway.
Yeah, and especially it's great to see that Frozen is getting a second chance because unfortunately that show ended up getting canceled and it was like a casualty because of the pandemic. So at least now that it is getting a second chance on Disney Plus, it's kind of like now it is being presented in a different way. It's not on Broadway, but at least there is a way that people can go and actually see it because like before the pandemic it actually had a very strong run alongside Aladdin and The Lion King. So at least like there is that in order to make things up for it.
Oh yeah, and also like I'm surprised Disney should. I feel like Disney should do this more often. Not with like the shows they're currently playing, but the past. I seriously doubt they would. But like some of the past shows they don't do anymore, like Beauty and the Beast, like that would be really cool to see on Disney Plus. Little Mermaid, Tarzan, Mary Poppins. like I said, that's wishful thinking, but that would be cool if they do like more often with like their Broadway shows.
Oh yeah.
Because how often would you see these shows, aside from like bootleg recordings?
No, that is true. Like, and especially there are some that are like legendary. I can imagine they'll probably do that with, like, if they do more of that, they could do so with Beauty and the Beast or with Newsies, for example.
Yeah. Oh, something I forgot to mention. I know it's not technically Disney Broadway, but have you seen The Hunchback of Notre Dame? Like that production?
No, I haven't, but I do. I actually do have the soundtrack though.
It's, I mean, I'm speechless by that because I absolutely love that production. Like, I mean,
Oh.
I love the movie more, but the musical version, like, it sticks closer to the book, but I like it for different reasons compared to the movie. But Hunchback is definitely one of my favorites, so I just have to throw that out. Sorry.
I understand. Like, I hope Disney one day will give that one a second chance as well, because I've also heard some pretty strong things. But the funny thing is that out of all these announcements, I think it's only the stage production things that I feel the most excited about. Like, the only one that I feel hyped up for is just Frozen on Disney Plus, and the rest is just
Hmm.
very meh. Like, I know there are
Oh
some that
yeah.
I have to watch it because I gotta go and review them. But other than that, though, if it's for stuff that I want to see, really the only one is just the Frozen Broadway.
Exactly. That's how I feel too. Not to say like these other ones are. I mean, like I said, I'm definitely looking forward to Tron, despite having
Yeah.
who. But other than that, like I might give these other movies a chance. If more like when they're on Disney Plus, there's no way I'm watching these in theaters unless I'm convinced otherwise. I mean, and also I'm sure I'm. Are you going to bring up Freakier Friday by chance?
Oh, I forgot about Freakier Friday. Holy crap. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
if you
did.
want to
For
talk,
some reason, they didn't include that on the list. But yeah, there was
that's
Freakier Friday, in which Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis revealed the title of it.
yeah. It's funny you forgot about that because I was going to like mention that I feel it's going to be the same route like all forgettable sequels to their live action films because not to say like okay, so let me put it this way. I remember like the last time these we brought up Hocus Pocus 2 and Disenchantment.
Yeah.
I thought Hocus Pocus 2 was okay. It was mostly the Sanderson brothers that made the movie itself.
Yeah.
But oh my god, Disenchanted, that was like the most forgettable thing I've seen in any movie. Like I watched that thing and then I came out saying, what I don't even remember what I watched. Like nothing about it just like stood out to me. Like what I don't know. It just felt it's like one of the most forgettable things I've seen in my life. And this is coming from somebody that really loves Enchanted.
By
But
the way, just to go and pause that, we're just going to go on into another break. And when we do come back, you can finish up your thoughts on Disenchanted and Freak Your Friday. And then I'll be asking you in the chat wall, what do you all think? So let's just have a break and go from there. All right, so we are back. So, Logan, as you were saying about Disenchanted and about Freak Your Friday as well, what were you saying?
I was gonna say really quick on that. What I want to say is like I feel it's gonna go to the same route like the sequels to live action films, where it's like you'll watch it once and then you'll immediately forget about it. Not to say that there is gonna be bad or anything, but that's just how I feel with these other like live action sequels. Like would it be like Disenchanted, Hocus Pocus 2, and like you mentioned earlier, Mary Poppins Return. It's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and watch it, but at the same time it's like I'm not gonna remember. And it's like I know why they're making them money and all, but it's like if you're gonna like do that, at least make it somewhat interesting. Like I'll give Mary Poppins Return credit. The songs are definitely really enjoyable,
Mm-hmm.
and especially like that 2D move, like that scene, like the 2D scene.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I definitely enjoyed it, but at the same time, it's like it doesn't really feel. It's not as magic. It's nowhere near as magical as the first
Oh
movie,
yeah, no,
obviously.
I agree. Like it's very much like it. I really do like the movie, but I do acknowledge that a lot of it is very much rehashing what the first movie did. That's why I kind of consider it to be a remake, because like even though it's a sequel per se, it acts so much like the original that it might as well be a remake.
Exactly. And I don't know. I just feel like, oh, something I want to mention in the chat. Somebody brought up Christopher Robin.
Oh yeah, that
I
too.
I don't really consider that a remake or a sequel. I just see that more as like its own thing, honestly. Like I enjoyed it for what it is, but I just see that as like its own thing with the Winnie the Pooh characters. So it's cute, but
Yeah.
not much else to say about it. But anyways, yeah, in short, are you gonna give your thought? Are you gonna say your final thoughts about the whole live action films? And
Well, I mean, it's like what I said. I just feel like this year, with what they have presented, there's not a whole lot that I feel like has grabbed me. The only one really was the Frozen Broadway film production for Disney Plus next year. Everything else, it's like I'm not as interested or anything that really grabbed my attention, because a lot of it is just nostalgic sequels or live action remakes. And there are going to be some, like, yeah, I'll have no choice but to watch it because it's my job, like I got to go and review it, but there's nothing that makes me want to say, oh, I want to go see this because I really want to. Like even taking my job out of the equation, there's nothing that they really brought up that would go and hype me up. So yeah, in terms of these, it's just meh. I mean, like, other than that, like, maybe Avatar: Fire and Ash, maybe, but that's it.
yeah, for me, it's like if they make a movie that's like the original Mary Poppins, the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, or Enchanted, like something that's more original, but it feels like Disney, I would definitely be more intrigued on watching. But at the same time, it's like with all these like sadly, the only original one they mentioned is Moana, and even then, we don't really know much about it. So it could be like
what was that? Because you kind of cut off when you mentioned it.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, like, it's sad. Like the only original so far is Monster Jams, and even then, we don't know much about it. So it could be like a colossal mess. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. But let's see what the chat wall has to say, though. Maybe you might find something that you would be more intrigued than us about it. Let me know what you all think about the live-action productions that Disney has in store. All right, let's see now. While there wasn't much here that really impressed me, I'm curious about Avatar: Fire and Ash, and I'm actually pretty impressed how Stitch looks for the Lilo and Stitch remake. Seriously, this remake looks as good as it's gonna be. At least he looks like Stitch, and at least he doesn't look like something out of the Uncanny Valley, unlike the dwarves. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that's the one positive. At least, like, they're not nightmare-inducing like the clips we have seen with the dwarves or anything from, like, the Little Mermaid remake or the Beauty and the Beast remake. At least it's, like, you know, it's not something that we would see and we would, like, freak out. You know, it's not like Stitch pops out and we would be like, ah! You know?
Exactly. I mean, I didn't want to bring up the dwarves in that trailer, but they couldn't make them look normal, like regular looking.
No, we got to make them look freaky. We got to make them look like they're coming from some indie horror game.
Like that's.
We gotta hire Scott Cawthorn to be a character designer for these dwarves.
Oh yeah, I don't know what they're. I get they want to make it look like the animated character. But
no. It's a fail. Anytime they try to do so, it just doesn't work. They just make freaking nightmares.
I don't know what their thought process is, but
you know the sad thing is a lot of the you know, like, this might sound bad. A lot of these live action dwarves, they actually do look more like Haunted Mansion ghosts than some of the Haunted Mansion ghosts in the 2023 movie. No, seriously, like, put in a ghost filter on them. And did you just freeze or?
Yeah, I froze. You got caught up there. Sorry.
No, I was just saying that these dwarves look more like Haunted Mansion ghosts than in the 2023 movie. Like, put in that ghost filter in them. Where'd you see some of these dwarves, like, freaking hitchhiking?
I mean, I'm sure they can use that as, like, reference for, like, if they need to, like, refurbish some of the animatronics.
You cannot say that I'm wrong there, man.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
There we go. Anyways, what else do we got here? Not gonna talk about Mufasa and Snow White much since I don't really care for them. I'm still gonna watch the third Sonic movie, but one of them that I am intrigued were the Lilo and Stitch remake and Monster Jam, the latter of which is the most shocking. As for Tron Ares, it has a lot going for it, but I don't know how the plot involving AI, how the AI beings would work, and how Jared Leto would be in the lead. Brace yourselves for those "It's Tronin time" memes. Ah, yes.
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
That'll
yeah. Yeah, I've got to bring back the Morb on it.
Oh boy.
Anyways,
I'm gonna let you continue. I'll be right back.
Yep, go ahead. Let's see here. I honestly don't care much about Disney's live action films since most of these movies are basically remakes, but Frozen on Broadway on Disney Plus is absolutely my most exciting news for me because I didn't see the show back in I did see the show back in 2023 and it's absolutely amazing. Really wish everyone could talk about it more. Hopefully this special will give this show a second chance on Disney Plus. I always thought these Broadway shows are very underrated and way better than the live action remakes, honestly. All right, fair enough, dude. Let's see, what else do we have here? This part on 2023, for all they announced here, it's just not interesting and just weird. Frozen, yes, but Avatar now sounds like firebending, if you know what I mean. Stitch is going Star Wars, and the only thing that my folks are into was the Snow White remake, and believe me, my birthday has been set. My mom was entirely won over with the updated version of Whistle While You Work. Heard that song like 6 times. I have hope considering Greta Gerwig's involvement, but I still don't think it'll be good. Wish me luck, please. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was gonna say that their rendition of "Whistle While I Work" is not bad. I actually enjoyed what they got so far with it.
Oh, I'm not gonna question the singing. I mean, they got freaking Rachel Zegler, and she's already proven to be a great singer, especially in West Side Story. So I'm sure the songs that they are gonna provide, it's gonna be solid. You know, it's gonna be like the Little Mermaid remake. Like, yeah, the acting, you don't know how that's going to be, but you know that the singing is going to deliver. And I'll even say it, Halle Bailey did deliver some great renditions of those Little Mermaid songs. Like, her versions her versions of Part of Your World are epic.
She definitely got that note on "Part of Your World." Like, I definitely felt goosebumps when I first heard that. So,
oh yeah, definitely solid right there. They made an avatar for Wade, and now they're making an avatar for Ember. A Disney Monster Jam movie starring The Rock is so random that I can't help but be interested. I didn't bother with the Lion King's 2019 remake, so I'm not going to see Mufasa. The Snow White and the Lilo and Stitch remake, I'm not seeing because they're live action remakes. Freakier Friday looks like it's going to be the movie of all time. But for me, Tron Ares was the live action highlight of the whole presentation. Honestly, I love that description. The Freakier Friday is going to be the movie of all time.
pretty much, yeah. You can describe this for any. It's going to be the movie of all time.
Yeah. Let's see. Good gosh, but gosh, where do I begin? Avatar 3 sounds like the one to get me into the franchise. Monster Jam sounds weird. The live action Stitch is kind of cute. Mufasa looks like Mufasa. I don't know. The stage production of The Greatest Showman was a long time coming. Freakier Friday sounds kind of fun, and Snow White doesn't appear to be grabbing me, even if Rachel Zegler singing Whistle While You Work did make me ascend to the 3rd astral plane. Yeah, hey, that Whistle While You Work, apparently it really does have power.
It sure does. Can't go wrong with the classics.
Yes. The following focuses on Monster Jam and Avatar. First, Disney teaming up with Monster Jam. This interests me. I remember watching this show as a kid, although maybe it would have in the Cars universe because it would be more fitting. And second, while I have not watched the Avatar movies yet, I have no doubt the 3rd film will be a hit just like the previous ones. I sure hope James Cameron is doing okay since his producing partner John Landau passed away not long ago. Yes, that is true. I honestly don't care much about Disney's live action films since most of these movies are basically remakes. But Frozen on Broadway on Disney Plus is absolutely my most excited news for me because I didn't see the oh, wait, no, I already read that, I think. Back in 22. Yeah, I did read that. Sorry. No, you were just not there. All right. Anyways.
Oh, okay, I was going to say I was confused. Like what?
yeah. Okay, I did read. Okay, I'll read one more comment and then we're gonna move on to our last break, or maybe our last break, depending on how long we'll talk about the next part. Mufasa prequel. Second trailer was actually interesting. Snow White, it's a nothing burger. I'm sure Gal Gadot and Rachel Zegler will do fine. I want to believe Gertwin's script is different, but that's executive me. Lilo and Stitch. Oh lord, I'm worried about the little girl playing Lilo. I hope they gave her a Stitch-sized toy to interact with. You know what would be cool? A live-action Stitch invading remakes. Herc stage musical. They saw Epic the musical to trend and want the musical Greek myth pie. Ah, I see. All right, so we're going to go on to our next break, and when we do come back, we're going to get into the grand finale, as we will be discussing probably something that is way more interesting than in here, but finally, AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast will be talking about some animation. And boy, does Disney have some big animation news coming up, so stay tuned for that. And now, folks, it is going to be time that we shall conclude this special off with the grand finale. And after discussing about the theme parks, about Marvel, about Star Wars and their live action stuff, it is now time that we shall be discussing about what Disney does best: animation. And the lineup that they have, oh boy, is it promising. Now let's go and begin with what Walt Disney Animation Studios has in store. And the first thing that they did in the panel is that they went and presented the new trailer for Moana 2. And Logan, what did you think about that trailer? Oh, hold on a sec.
And I say that because I did enjoy the first Moana movie. Don't get me wrong. I definitely like it for like the songs, the characters, the animation, and all that stuff. But so far, the sequel is not really grabbing my attention. Mainly because I feel like they're going with the same direction. They're going with the same routes they did with the first movie. And I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not liking the idea of like Walt Disney Animation Studios being the sequel film, like getting into the sequels now, because I feel like that's like the one animation studio that shouldn't be making sequels given their legacy and all that stuff. But hey, I mean, I could be wrong. This movie could be like really good and all that stuff. It's just like for me, I'm just not as hyped compared to like everybody else is. And plus, given the fact that this was originally going to be a miniseries, they should have just stuck with it being a miniseries. Sorry.
Maybe. I will give you this. There's not a lot in the sequel that they're really showing much that feels exciting. Like, really, the big thing that they kind of revealed is just we have a bit of a taste of how Moana's sister is going to be. And other than that, I feel like there's just a lot more that they could go and present, but they're still hiding. Like, I still have faith that there's a lot that this movie has in store, and maybe Disney wants to reveal the big surprises. But like, they want to reveal the big surprises for the movie itself. But so far from what we have been seeing in this trailer, it's like, I want to be excited for it, but I don't know if this trailer really convinced me 100% if I should. Not to mention that other than the little sister, like, we still have no idea how these new characters are going to be. Because technically there's going to be like 3 new people that are going to be joining Maui and Moana, and we still know absolutely nothing about them. So honestly, I think this is going to be a case more, I'm just going to pin this on the blame on the trailer itself, that it's not great, but like, honestly, I'm still keeping hopes up that maybe there is some good that will be in store with the movie itself. And especially like especially like One great thing about it, though, is that the animation they presented looks great. Like, it still looks a very strong-looking feature.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong on that. I feel like this is going into, like, the route of, like, Frozen 2, where it's, like, the movie will be fine, but it's going to be nothing special, honestly.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. But there is a sequel that I'm sure you would be excited for, and that is Zootopia 2, and they have confirmed a lot of what's going to be in store for that. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention that with Moana 2, that's going to be coming out November 27th of this year, but next year we will be getting Zootopia 2, and they have revealed quite a lot for that feature. Not only are we going to see some new places within Zootopia, but they have also introduced the concept that we are going to see some reptiles. Now, of course, the clip that they shown at D23, we do see Nick and Judy, that they're going across the shore and they're going more on the seaside of Zootopia, where we do get to see some new mammals that are going to be involved, like seals and walruses. But also, the introduction of reptiles in this will also include a new character, which is a snake, who is named Gary, voiced by Kiwi Kwan, and that's going to be coming out next year on November 26th. Now, safe to say, you're more excited for this than Moana 2, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like I said before with Moana 2, it's like, I'm not really big on, like, Walt Disney Animation Studios themselves making sequels to their films. But with this one, I'm definitely intrigued with what they offer because, yeah, I mean, adding reptiles into the Zootopia universe, I'm curious to see where they're going with that direction. Especially, like, they're going to keep snakes as snakes. Or at least, what I assume it's going to be just... I don't see any clothes in that snake, so it's like... It's hard to tell where they're going to go with that direction.
Well,
and plus, if you look...
they'll still be a bit anthropomorphic, because, again, he's going to be voiced by Kiwi Kwan, so he will be talking.
True that, yeah. And also, I'm not sure if you can notice in the teaser poster they released, but you can also see what it looks like it'd be a chameleon.
Yeah, no, I did see that actually. There's like little like chameleon agents, and there's actually like a few that spawn. Here, I'm gonna go and try to look it up actually. Try to see if I could go and find it. Here, let me see, because they did put out that poster. Where is it? Yes, right over here. So yeah, like you do see this, it's from Facebook. So yeah, you do see it right over here. No, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. There we go. Thank you. So you do see in the poster, like you got Gary right over here, Nick and Judy. And then like little bits and pieces, like if you look closely, like you'll see like little chameleon agents that are like going around, maybe looking for Nick and Judy, or like maybe for Gary or something like that. But you actually do see that. Oh, did you actually send me the poster?
I did not know.
Or I probably got a message from someone else.
Somebody probably did, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm definitely, and plus that clip they provide with the walrus, that definitely gives out like the first movie vibe. Like, yeah, it's going a different direction what they did with Flash, but something tells me I'm gonna like that walrus.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, if you guys know me, I love Zootopia. I consider it to be the best animated feature of the last decade, and it's one of my favorite Disney films. And with this sequel, it looks like it could live up to the original. Like, if it's going to be as good, that might be a tall order, but if it's something like what we got with Inside Out 2, then I'm definitely sold. And so far with the concepts that they have brought up, it definitely looks intriguing. So I'm definitely hyped up, and I'm already putting it as one of my most anticipated movies of next year.
Same here. And also, I did like the Zootopia Plus series, so that's definitely really good.
All right, awesome. All right, so moving forward, there is one more major announcement that Disney has made, and that is regarding Frozen 3. Now, one thing they have revealed in terms of Frozen 3 is that it's not going to be coming out just after Zootopia 2, but rather it's going to be coming out in 2027. However, Jennifer Lee did confirm that for 2026, Disney is actually working on a top secret original animated feature. They just chose not to reveal what it is just yet at D23. But as for Frozen 3, they confirmed that the big goal that they want to do for the third and fourth film is to go and answer a whole bunch of questions that people have in regards to the first and second movie. And so far, they're still early in production, but one thing they have revealed is a brand new concept art by Brittany Lee, I believe. And you can correct that if I'm wrong, by the way. And from there, you may have noticed that there are some new things that they are introducing. We see Anna and Elsa on their respective horses, and they're looking upon a castle in the sky, which my guess is probably Valhalla. And then on the corner, you see there's like probably the next villain that might be this evil Viking or something like that. So just out of curiosity, what do you think?
I'm definitely looking forward to it in Frozen 2. Like I said before, like I mean, not to say that Frozen 2 was a bad film, but it's certainly not the first one. And I personally love the first Frozen. Is it overhyped? Is it overwhelmed? Yeah, but you know, it's at the end of the day, it's still a good movie. I mean, I can definitely see people not really enjoyed it much, but I mean, for what it is, I mean, I'm not sure if you can see.
Yeah,
like,
I was about to say, I could see behind you that you got you got the two girls right behind you.
Oh yeah, I got these back when the first movie came out, like 2013, 14.
Oh dang!
And so I just couldn't resist like buying them. So it's kind of a long story how but but no, yeah, I definitely enjoyed like the first Frozen movie, and I'm definitely intrigued like where they're taking the direction of Frozen 3 and 4. So if they're gonna promise in that, if they're gonna keep that promise like answering questions from like the first movie, then I'm all in. But again, we'll have to see how they're gonna execute it, because I don't know. When it comes to like the Disney sequels, like they can come to like either they can be like a mixed bag. Like it can be good, it can be okay, but nothing too grand. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, they've been hyping it up, and so far the people at Disney are saying that they're loving what they're doing with the upcoming Frozen films. But I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. I agree. I do prefer the first Frozen film than the second, and I really like the first Frozen movie. But honestly, I'm keeping my hopes up on the third film. You know, I'm not against the idea of more Anna and Elsa and more epic adventures that they would have in store. So we'll see how it goes with that.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're building the lands in Paris, Hong Kong, so they gotta milk that franchise somehow. So for sequel,
exactly,
they gotta keep those lands relevant. So it's like, you know,
yeah. Well, actually, like now there's technically 4. I mean, like we got Japan, we got Paris is coming soon.
Oh yeah,
Hong Kong is getting one. Technically Epcot maybe with Norway.
That's more just like the ride within Norway, not so much land.
Yeah,
but some people would technically see that. Which, by the way, really quick, Fantasy Springs. Oh my god, I'm jealous.
It's fun. It's fun. It looks so phenomenal. It's upset.
Phenomenal, yeah.
I'm upset that the U.S. doesn't have anything like that yet.
It's basically if Disney were to make Fantasyland today, like that. Yes, I love it, and I feel like if there's like the one international park I really want to go and visit, it's Tokyo Disneyland. It's definitely top priority.
Oh yeah,
on my list.
Me too. Anyways, moving forward, so those are all the announcements from Disney Animation. Now let's move forward to Pixar, and we're going to start in a different order, and let's discuss about Toy Story 5. So yes, it has now been confirmed that Andrew Stanton will be directing the picture. I don't know if he's also writing it, but the point is Andrew Stanton is going to be the guy taking the lead to make this movie. And not only have they confirmed that Woody is going to be coming back after breaking up with the gang at the end of Toy Story 4, but they've also revealed the plot is now going to be the toys facing a challenge to stay relevant in a world of technology. This is especially shown with this concept art here where you see the toys looking concerned as Bonnie is under her covers playing with her iPad. And on top of that, they have also confirmed that the villain of this feature, or should I say the villains, is going to be 50 malfunctioning Buzz Lightyear action figures where they're permanently stuck in play mode, where they're constantly thinking that they are the real Buzz Lightyear. So Logan, I want to know what you think on this.
It's definitely something I feel like if they have to make another toy, they will have to go with that route because, yeah, that is definitely something that kids nowadays, not to say all kids, but like most kids, they're just really fascinated with their tablets and just like play with those because I have nieces and nephews that they definitely love play on their tablets. And I see that it's like, yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because I feel like, I mean, granted, I'm not one to talk. If I'm not animating, if I'm not, I just like scroll through like social media and TikTok and all that stuff. So really, I'm not really one to talk. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, that can be like hazardous. Whereas like they should go out and play with like their toys and all that stuff. Not so much to sit around just like watching, I don't know, watching like Coco Melon or whatnot. How much rather it's definitely intriguing to see like going that route and knowing Pixar, I feel like they're gonna handle this respectfully. Like not so much like targeting the kids that are like gonna be tablets, but more just like how they're gonna get it resolved. Like I don't know. I'm definitely intrigued to see where they're going in that direction because I feel like I'm surprised they didn't do this for the fourth movie because that seems like a no-brainer at that point to make how the toy's gonna react toward like tablets and all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly feel like now Pixar would have to really convince me that Toy Story 5 is worthwhile. Now, keep in mind, I actually love Toy Story 4. I actually love it as much as the other Toy Story films, like that much. And especially like after that ending, I honestly teared up. So now, like, I want to know, why is it that suddenly we see Woody coming back with the gang? Like, why go and reverse that ending? Well, like, how are they going to go and explain that? And also,
I'm sure they're going to explain it somehow, but
yeah, and then there's also the idea of the villains, like with with all the malfunctioning Buzz Lightyears. I feel like there's something about it that for me feels like it's a bit familiar. It's a little bit like with what they did in Toy Story 2. You know, when like Buzz and the gang are in Al's toy barn and you see like Buzz Lightyear crossing the aisle with all the Buzz Lightyears and stuff like that. It feels like it's a bit similar to it. But I am not saying though that I have my doubts for it. I am open to the idea that maybe this could legitimately be pretty solid, that maybe they could really nail this one. It could be as good as the previous Toy Story features. And like you said, I actually do think the idea of having these that they would have all these like the concept of the toys versus technology, I think it's a very solid idea. Definitely something that that would be great for Robot Chicken to go and actually tackle upon. But it's just like with these other
Robot Chicken.
Wait, what?
You said like, yeah, this is something that Robot Chicken will tackle.
Oh, did I say Robot Chicken? Sorry.
Yeah. Is it because somebody mentioned that?
Yeah, I think it's because I saw in the chat while someone said Robot Chicken. Sorry. No, but it's something that it's a great idea for Toy Story to actually tackle upon. So honestly, there are some things that I am wondering that they should go and answer. But like, I am open to the idea that they'll still nail it, especially with the fact that they did get Andrew Stanton back in order to work on this. And if there's anyone who is able to go and justify a Toy Story 5, it would definitely be Andrew Stanton.
Exactly. But at the same time, could they go back to just making the ABC specials? Like, we're not really missing much in these sequels, but I get it. Toy Story is a bigger franchise, so why not just milk it with all its worth? But at this point, I'm not complaining. It's Toy Story. I'm sure it'll be fine. I mean, heck, I'm not one of those Toy Story haters or Toy Story 4 haters like most people. I enjoyed it for what it is. I mean, Forky is definitely one of my favorite characters from the franchise.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, but we'll see. I think in conclusion, there's definitely some some answers that they absolutely need to go and actually respond to. Like there are some questions that Pixar should absolutely answer with Toy Story 5, but there is a chance that it could still be great.
One way to find out.
Yep, and moving forward, there was also mention about the next Pixar movie, which is the original feature Elio. And there have been some updates since last time. They have revealed that there's going to be 2 new directors working on this feature, specifically Turning Red's Domi Shi and Madeline Sharafian. And also, there's a casting change as well. Originally, America Ferrera was going to play Elio's aunt, but now that role is going to be played by Zoe Saldana. And other than that, not much really that they have revealed, or at least publicly. So, any words on this one?
I just hope this film doesn't go the same route as A Good Dinosaur, where it has like these production issues with the delays and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm still hopeful that this movie is still going to be good. I mean, I'm definitely going to be seeing it at theaters, but man, that hurt. Man, it sucks that they had to delay it for next year, because I was actually kind of like looking forward to seeing it this year. But I mean, we got Inside Out 2, so I can't really complain. But
yeah, that is true. I am hoping for the best for this one, and it is true. Usually, Pixar films that has these kind of production troubles, like not just Good Dinosaur, but even Brave. Like sometimes they don't often go well creatively. So I'm just hoping for the best that we could get something good. I mean, I did really like the trailer they did put out. Like that was really fun. So we'll see with what they'll have in store with the next trailer that they'll bring up at some point.
oh yeah, for sure.
All right, now next up we got is yet another original Pixar film. This time, this is like fresh out of the oven. This is like brand new, newly announced. This is called Hoppers. And just to go and quickly read the description here from my source on discussing films, it says here, the main character of the film is a girl named Mabel who transfers her mind into a robot beaver, the titular Hoppers, which allows her to infiltrate the animal kingdom in the film. It's there that she meets a regal king beaver. Mabel's love for animals is what allows her to jump into the robot beaver's body without hesitation. Another character in Hoppers is the crooked mayor of the town, voiced by John Hamm. And on top of that, we also got a little bit of a teaser, or at least we got a bit of a concept art here. We see Mabel that's in the machine where it puts her mind into the robot beaver over here that's just running loose and going crazy. And by the way, it's worth mentioning, this will be directed by Daniel Chong, and this is actually going to be coming out in 2026, in the spring of 2026. So before Toy Story 5, we're going to get another original Pixar film. So what did you think of this one?
I'm definitely hopping and exciting for this one. Yeah, no, this is as soon as I just love like the look of the beaver. It definitely gives out Turning Red vibes. And I'm definitely intrigued at where they're going to go with this direction, because, hey, it's an original project from Pixar, so I'm definitely looking forward to it. And also, given that it's from the director that also created We Bare Bears, I'm definitely intrigued to see where this is going, because from the episodes I've seen of We Bare Bears, I definitely did enjoy what they had to offer. I didn't really watch much of it, but I only seen like a handful of episodes. But yeah, this definitely has potential to be like another great, maybe not like the most memorable Pixar movie, but I mean, I could be wrong on that account, but I feel like it's going to be the same route as like Turning Red, where it's definitely going to be really enjoyable for what it has to offer.
Yeah, from what I could tell, it does feel like that this could be one of Pixar's more comical features. This especially the narrative does sound a bit similar to Turning Red, but it does, like, even the tone, like just from what we see in the concept art, it looks like something in which that they're just gonna go wild and crazy, and like it'll be focused on being more joke oriented. And the fact that this is from the creator of We Bare Bears, like, I haven't seen a whole lot of episodes of that either, but I have definitely heard some great things about it. So I can imagine like we'll be getting that type of humor applied onto Hoppers, and I'm sure like it'll probably work out great for it.
Oh yeah, for sure. And plus, like I said, I just like the design of like the beaver itself, the robotic beaver, and that's something too that's interesting. Like it's not like the main character turning into the animal, but rather it's going inside the mind of a robotic beaver, which might have potential.
Yeah, I could see this working out. So yeah, honestly, I do see with Hoppers, it definitely has a lot of promise. So we'll see about that. Then moving forward, we got a couple of shows that'll be coming to Disney Plus from Pixar. First off is the long-awaited Win or Lose, which they finally confirmed a release date in which it's going to be coming out on December 6th. And they even released a little teaser trailer for it. Logan, what did you think of that one?
I'm definitely intrigued with this one. Like I say, I mean, you can't go. Like I said, you can't go wrong with like Pixar making something that's original. So, and plus, this is going to be with this being like their first ever like show, not something that like they got their blessing for, like Buzz Lightyear or Monsters at Work. I'm definitely intrigued to see how they're going to execute this. I mean, this looks like it's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, it definitely looks intriguing. I've always liked the concept of what they have with like everyone's perspective of this Little League baseball game. So honestly, I'm prepared to go in. Someone who went to D23 actually stated that they actually saw the first 2 episodes, and apparently it's actually hilarious. So it could legit be worthwhile. And there is another series they have confirmed in which coming next year, there's going to be a series called Dream Productions, which is going to be an Inside Out spin-off series, which will be set in the movie studio that is in Riley's mind. Like, you know, the studio that would go and make the dreams that Riley would have at night. So apparently there's going to be a whole series that's going to be based on that. Now, we don't necessarily have a lot of information other than the fact that it's going to be coming out next year. So, Logan, I would like to know, what did you think of that?
I think it's going to look cute. I mean, I kind of like see it as like the other like short series that they've done, like the Doug series, where it's like, yeah, they're short and cute, but nothing too grand or anything like that. And this is coming from someone that really loves Inside Out 2. Like, I think that's like one of the best sequels they've done in a while. So I'm definitely more intrigued, but not so much hype for it. But who knows? Maybe it could be like blow my mind some way. But I seriously doubt it. But I'll watch it still.
Yeah, I mean, I can see the potential of it. I mean, like, I have seen plenty of the other like short series that Pixar would go and release, and I mean, they're not as like spectacular as the movies themselves, but you know, honestly, they're good for what it is. And I mean, some of them are really enjoyable. And I would even say the one exception that I feel like might be better than the movies is is Cars on the Road with Lightning McQueen and Mater. Those ones are actually pretty enjoyable.
I forgot those existed. I haven't got a chance to watch those.
Give it a chance. You'll be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah, and honestly with this one, I'm kind of expecting maybe it's going to be something like that, where it's just going to be a bunch of shorts that I'm not expecting Inside Out level quality, but it's going to be cute. You know, it's something that will go and deliver on these cute stories. So ultimately, I guess we'll have to wait and see when that comes out.
And plus, it dealt with dreams, so I'm sure like everybody, it's going to be like relatable. Get these awkward, interesting, bizarre dreams as like we all come across. So I'm sure it'll be interesting on that aspect.
Yeah. By the way, there is one more announcement, but I'm going to go onto a break because we're almost out of time until the next ads come in. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot to go and discuss about that. So stay tuned for the biggest animation announcement at D23. All right, we are back, and we got one more announcement to go and discuss about, and it's not just any announcement. It is debatably the biggest movie news highlight at this year's D23, we don't have much info on it, but it has been confirmed that Pixar is making an Incredibles 3. Now, even though this is going to be in production, the one piece of info that we do know is that Pixar has managed to brought back Brad Bird into the production. Yes, for a while, we've been thinking that maybe he quit Pixar because he went to Skydance, but now it looks like the plans have changed, and now he's going to be returning to Disney to go and work once again on The Incredibles. So, Logan, what do you think about this? And by the way, chat wall, just out of curiosity, I have heard rumors that apparently they are planning to have this be released in 2027, I think? Is that true? Or, I don't know. Like, let me know what you think on that.
Hot take. I am not looking forward to Incredibles 3.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay. No, explain, man. That's what we're here for.
The reason why I'm not so excited about this is because, I mean, I thought Incredibles 2 was okay. Like, literally the only thing I liked about Incredibles 2 was the fight scene between Jack and the raccoon. Like, that, I had a good time watching that. But everything else, I don't know. It just felt like nothing too, no pun intended, well, pun intended, incredible. And it just felt like one of the more, like, generic side of things when it comes to, like, the sequels. Not to say, like, everything is so bad. Like, I did, like, other moments, too. Like, the Elastic Girl with the motorcycle moment. Like, I thought that was really cool. But it's one of those movies that, like, I watched. I enjoyed it for what it is, but nothing I don't see myself looking back and, like, rewatching it. And also, like I said before, I'm not really big on, like, the whole, like, having these, like, sequel after sequel after sequel to all these movies. I just wish there would be, like, more, like, original things coming out of these studios. But, again, I could be proven wrong. Incredibles 3, who knows? Maybe this could be, like, better than the second one. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's another hot take for me. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Honestly, I personally enjoyed Incredibles 2 more so than you have, or compared to what many others have. I mean, it's not as good as the first film. I think that is a given right there. But still, I think it is actually pretty fun. I still liked it nonetheless. I think it's definitely a nice, worthy sequel to the original. And hearing that not only are we getting a third film, but the fact that we also have Brad Bird coming back, that I feel like is exciting. And I think there is a part of me that is honestly intrigued about why is it that Brad Bird decided to go back to Pixar and work on The Incredibles instead of staying at Skydance? Because for a while he had been working on this movie called Ray Gun at the studio, this original movie he wanted to do for quite a while. But now, like, with this announcement, it feels like, okay, the dynamic suddenly has changed. Now, I have heard rumors about, like, so many things. Maybe Brad Bird has already finished working on that movie, like that, that film is finished, and now he's moving to his next job. Or maybe the Ray Gun movie is fully canceled and that he broke up with John Lasseter and stuff like that. So I don't know what's going on, but I feel like it's kind of this interesting twist that is going on, especially with what's happening at Skydance. So that's the thing, honestly, that I feel like, I'm curious, but also why I feel pretty hyped up for this Incredibles 3 news.
I was going to say, knowing the situation with Skydance, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like the latter, but prove me wrong.
Yeah, well, hey, we'll see with what's going on. I mean, I'm sure at some point we'll probably get some news about it, but for now, considering that with the Ray Gun project, there's a lot of interest for that feature. I'm sure there's going to be people out there who will try to go and figure out that answer, like what happened to the Ray Gun project now that Brad Bird is back at Pixar. So overall, we'll see. But I would say overall, in general, with the whole panel for Disney Animation and for Pixar, I'll definitely say that even though most of it is just sequels, this is a vast improvement or this is definitely better than the live action stuff. And I feel like even with the sequels, I'm much more interested in checking those out more so than I would be with any of the live action things that they have announced. I feel like these are the things that I do want to go and check out on the big screen, even if I would have a little bit of my doubts, like with Moana 2 or with Toy Story 5. I feel like I'm definitely more interested in seeing those, especially when there are, like, they still do introduce some interesting, you know, when they have some interesting ideas to go and present and some great animation also.
Oh, I believe it, yeah. No, I'm definitely more intrigued with their animation side of things than the live action. But at the same time, it's like I wish there would be like more to offer when it comes to the original ideas. But hey, if they're gonna like if they're still making original films, then I'm still down with that. And what they have to offer with the sequels, I mean, there might be some movies I'll check in theaters like Zootopia 2, but others, if they don't really grab my attention or if I don't hear really good things about them, I'll just wait till they're on Disney Plus or not even bother with them. But again, prove me wrong. Hopefully, Moana 2 will be the next best thing, or Incredibles 3 the next best thing. Who knows? So, in the end, I have high hopes of these movies, but my expectations are, I say somewhere in the middle. But when it comes to that, when it comes to Hoppers, oh yeah, most definitely. I'm looking forward to that. And Elio,
Elio,
that
yeah.
too. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one too.
Yeah, pretty much with all the animation, like I would say with all, like, compared to the live action stuff or anything else that's been announced, I would say I'm most excited for the animation stuff. And with that said, now I want to know from the chat wall, I like to ask you all, what do you all think about the animation announcements at D23? Which movies are you the most excited for? And let me know what you think of your thoughts on some of them, especially like the bigger announcements. All right, let's see now. This is a phenomenal lineup. Moana 2 looks great. Zootopia 2 feels like a natural expansion to the world. Frozen 3 isn't 100% grabbing me, but I'll remain open-minded. Elio looks really charming. Hoppers could be pretty funny. Incredibles 3 could be totally wicked. And while I'm still very, very on the fence about Toy Story 5, it presents an okay idea, and the fact that Andrew Stanton is directing could be cool. It might be redeemed if it goes full Mitchells versus the Machines. Oh boy, that would be interesting, actually. Like the
Good
tech,
point.
yeah, like the tech really going against the toys. All right.
That'll be kind of going far-fetched, but if they do, I mean, because Toy Story is more like a grounded film if you take out the toys coming to life aspect. But you know, I can see them making it work.
Yeah, maybe we could see. As someone who prefers Incredibles 2 to the first one, Incredibles 3 is both my least surprising announcement and my most anticipated one. Hoppers is the dumbest idea for a Pixar movie I've heard, and I kind of love it for that. Zootopia 2 adding reptiles to the universe sounds like the perfect evolution of the first movie's premise. So the Frozen sequels are just going to be about answering questions nobody asked about the first one. All right. Well, I mean, technically some people have. Let's see. As someone who really loves the first movie, I am definitely hyped for Zootopia 2. I'm definitely interested in how they're gonna add reptiles in the film. Also, a major question, do you think that they'll make Nick and Judy into a couple in this, and will it work or not? If it turns out to be bad, we could definitely agree that it would probably be better than the Certain Fan comic. I would describe it more, but I would rather not risk getting the stream demonetized. Yeah, we know which one you're talking about.
Dang, I was going to make a joke about that, but you beat me to the punch.
Fair enough. What's not anticipated? It's all great. First, I gotta say, we all went back in time to 2016 when these two films were announced, and I feel hyped all over again. Moana, make way, very anticipated. I love the direction, and Zootopia 2, hell yeah. Talking animals movie, woo! The Frozen 3, not big for it, but okay. Pixar films, Elio, yes. Hoppers, yes. Imps, IN3? Wait, IN3? Oh, Incredibles 3, yes.
3.
Toy Story 5 is Bo in. Not sure about the villains. Buzz figures, I don't get it. The miniseries, like invested in all. I'm completely excited. I'm glowing. I am glowing. Okay. Out of all these upcoming movies, I am honestly the most hyped for Zootopia 2. The inclusion of non-mammal animals in the world of Zootopia was a possibility I did not expect to become a reality. And I can imagine, since this has been almost a decade in the making, Disney has a very important task to make this movie every bit as strong as the original, just like Across the Spider-Verse was for Sony. Also, I'll give them credit, I actually love the idea of introducing other types of animals. All right, very nice. Let's see what other comments. Lightning round, go. Moana 2 is cool, but where's Tamatoa? Elio, just hoping it's fun. Incredibles 3, I thought it's a dream, but no, it's a reality. Toy Story 5, no matter what it's going to be, just as long as fantastic. Hoppers, really cute visuals and a story, so I'm all in. Frozen 3, not sure now. Zootopia 2, oh my gosh, I'm hopping with joy with the first I saw the short clip. Judy, I'm coming for you, my fave bunny. Alrighty then. Moana 2, second trailer made me more interested. Wicked versus Moana 2 will be the debate for my sister and I come this November. Zootopia 2, the ship has returned. I'm actually not hyped about the reptiles because didn't the original people want to avoid reptiles and birds? Frozen 3, okay, it's still a two-parter. Elio, oh god, that's a lot of last-minute changes. Hoppers, this I'm more hyped for. Toy Story 5, I'm still not sure. And Incredibles 3, did Brad Bird leave Lasseter already? Maybe. Let's see, I think I'll go and read... what?
Really quick, going back to that one comment you said about like the reptile, about the creative Zootopia didn't want to include reptile. At the time, yes, but since that movie made bank at the box office, I'm sure it's like, no, wait, I'm sure there's ideas for reptiles.
Yeah, probably.
So, Zootopia 2, reptiles. Zootopia 3, birds. I'm going to predict that.
Well, we'll see. Let's read two more comments. Okay, actually, yeah, let's read two more comments. As someone who really loves the first movie, I am definitely hyped for Zootopia 2. I'm definitely interested in how they're going to add reptiles in the film. Also, or did I read? Oh, no, someone, I already read that one. Sorry about that. As far as the sequels go, the only one I'm really hyped up for is Zootopia 2, though I'll still give the rest a chance. But as AniMat's said, they look much more interesting than the live-action stuff. Also, Hopper sounds absolutely bonkers, and I love it. All right. Those animation announcements are definitely the biggest highlights at D23 this year. Moana 2 has great potential. Zootopia 2 looks great so far. Pixar's originals like Elio and Hoppers looks promising. Toy Story 5 and Incredibles 3 look extremely promising as well. But Frozen 3 is my biggest highlight. But I still can't believe I finally met Jennifer Lee on Friday morning. I almost teared up after meeting her. Hey, very nice, man. And with that said, that should do it for today's episode of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast. And what an epic episode this was. Logan, thank you so much for joining me on this, man. It's great working with you again on this.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for having me on board, Matt. Especially if it's Disney related. Because, yeah, there's definitely a lot we talked about in this podcast, in this episode.
Oh, absolutely. This is definitely one of our biggest episodes yet. And by the way, before we go, if people are interested in checking you out, where can they find you on the internet?
So yeah, currently, I currently use Twitter, or X if you want to call it, but I'll call it Twitter. You can find me under ToucanLDM, and then you can find me there, and then I'm also in the process of working on my passion project, Amazement Park. Yes, that's still in the works. It's definitely taking a lot more longer than expected, but I promise you the wait will be worth it. But if you want to follow that account, you can find it under Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under Amazement Park series, I believe. I have it on different names, but if you type in Amazement Park, I'm sure you can find it easily. But yeah, you can definitely find me there, and feel free to follow me. But if not, I totally understand. But yeah.
All right. And also, if you want to follow more of AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast, then all you have to do is just go and subscribe to either the or both to my Twitch channel at AniMat Live, or the AniMat's Crazy Cartoon Cast YouTube channel. And also, if you are listening to this on whatever podcast service you're listening to, then don't forget to go and follow me on Spotify, Apple, or Amazon. And with that said and done, I just want to say thank you all so much for listening. Thank you all so much for watching. And until next time, see you later, dudes.
See y'all.